Earlier today on stream, myself and chat went over every single unit and every single trait that Set 14 Fight for the Cyber City has to offer. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be fucking long. So feel free to just keep it on in the background while you're doing something else if you want to just like passively learn the set. But taking the time to actually learn what each and every single unit does and making sure that, you know, we're processing that information and actually understanding it so we know how to use the tools that are available to us at every single moment in the game. It's very important if you want to climb super high. Before we start as well, tomorrow we're going to go over all of the augments that this has to offer. There's too many augments on top of everything else, so I didn't want to do everything in one video. But all the augments we'll be doing it live tomorrow on stream. If you want to come by, check it out, and just like chill, hang out while we'll go over all the augments and different possibilities. And lastly, if you want to partake in the #1 Teamfight Tactics personal training program, you can find out about Project Mentor over at projectsbykai.com. Also, Project PvE, the best off-season practice tool for top TFT pros and players, is also available on there as well. If you want to go check it out, the sign-ups close very soon. Project PvE is March 21st and Project Mentor is on March 26th. So if you want to sign up for any of those things, please make sure you sign up as soon as possible, because that is definitely going to be something that I'm sure a lot of you folks will be interested in. Now, on to today's video. In a squad, each tier pick weapon. So KDA, but it gets armor, MR, damage amp. Choose a weapon. Boombots. Boombots fire a missile every 400 damage dealt at a nearby enemy that deals magic damage. 10% of damage taken contributes to damage dealt. So this is kind of like fire a missile every 400 damage dealt at a nearby enemy that deals magic damage. So this kind of feels like whatchamacallit. It almost kind of feels like Chomper. Like Automata. Oh, that's probably a better way to think about it. That is a better way to think about it. 10% of damage taken contributes to damage dealt. I feel like this portion of the ability does not really matter most of the time. Like, I don't think there's a way you can really consider, like for a backline carry, I don't think you would really think too much about this. But maybe for like a bruiser, it's nice. So like Boombots would probably like BT, for example. I can totally see that. 246 trait. Oh, you know, I just realized as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anima squad has 8 units. So if you get a +1 from like Trainer Golem, and like it's just Rebel all over again, man. Sag. Okay, Cyber Boss. Strongest Cyber Boss upgrades to its final form and gains HP, AP, and its ability hits more enemies. So, I think the way that they define strongest is going to be similar to Demacia from set 9. Where I think the ordered list is, it goes the number of items the unit's holding. And then it goes to the star level. And then if it's tied on both of those parameters, it's whichever unit you threw onto the board last onto the field, I think. So I think that's how it's gonna be. It's kind of annoying because especially with the new item UI, I don't see why they wouldn't just make like a little cyber boss thing, kind of similar to Dragon Mancer or like Syndicate the set, and you just like plop it onto one of the cyber bosses. So not a big fan, but not a big fan of how it works, but it's fine. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but the whole point of like moving away from the whole like using a thing on your bench to like to do a certain condition was because of the item space. But now that's not a problem anymore. Can they create a Kobuko based off you? You are the... Okay, fuck you. Alright. Let's see. I have 4 pieces well. All Cyber Boss upgrades. Your strongest Cyber Boss instead gains 33% and 30 AP. Oh, okay. Sorry. I get it now. So all cyber bosses get this bonus, but the strongest one gets this bonus. Okay, got it. So it's HP and AP. HP, AP. And his ability hits more enemies. Okay, got it. Poppy. Does this say there's cyber boss bonus in here? It doesn't, right? Yeah. I hope Tactics Tools fixes this. They should add the cyber boss bonus of like what it does. Oh no, it does have it. Final form. Oh, okay. They do have the final forms here. Okay, so hold on. So Poppy final form is... Let's see. Oh, I mean, I guess we'll go over the units later. Sorry, we'll go over the units later. Cypher. So same as Heartsteel, but you can only cash out once at one of these 4 rounds. 3, 3, 3, 7, 4, 3, 4, 7. Which is dumb. I don't know why they want to do 3, 2. 3-2? 3-7's fine. But like, why not 3-2, 3-7, 4-2, or 4-7? That way it's on neutrals or it's on your augment pick round, which is like extra time. I don't know why they would not. Like, this feels like such a weird time to do it. Because then, like, if you're rolling down for your units as well, you have to do it a round later. Like, not a fan. Let's see. So, after trading intel, Cypher champions gain 80 and AP. So, again, this is why I don't think Zed's going to be a good splash unit. Because you're going to have to play 3 Cypher, cash out, and then keep those Cyphers on your board to make sure this Zed unit actually gets, like, the bonus required. I just wonder if it's like is this saying you put 5 Cypher on your board, cash out, and then Zed permanently has 50 AD as long as Cypher's activated? Or is it you put 5 Cypher units on your board, you cash out, Zed has 50 AD, but now if you drop down to 3 Cypher, you only get 25 AD? Like, to me, this can be interpreted in like multiple ways. So I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this. I'd assume it's the latter. You lose it if you remove the units. Okay, that makes sense. But like, having to still play 3 Cypher to get 25 AD on your carry seems kind of weird. I guess it's not as substantial as 50. I think when I initially read it, I interpreted it as the former. But I can see that being the case. Yeah, because then if you play 3... If you keep 3 for the stats, you're playing Zed plus 2, right? And like, I could see it being like Strategist or like Bastion or Vanguard. But like... it feels a bit bad though. Do I say you play 3 Cypher at 3-2, cash out 3-3, get your bonus or run with it stage 3 to 4, drop stage 5? I think that makes a lot of sense. I could totally see that. Like, I just... Yeah, but having a splash unit that's kind of tied to having to have 3 in no matter what feels kind of weird. But... Because that doesn't feel like a splash unit, you know? That feels like a cluster. But, anyways. Okay, moving on. Divinicore. So, Guild. Basically, they grant unique stats to your team, increase for each Divinicore in play. What set was Guild? Was it set... No, set... Talon was in it. Set 8? Maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, set 7. Guild was set 7? Oh, wow. Oh, Heavenly. Heavenly was also Guild. Yeah. You're right. Also, where does Mindful One even get the loot tables from, by the way? I think he data mines it. I'm not sure, though. I'd assume that's how he does it. Heavenly set 11. Yes, Heavenly set 11. Guild set 7. Yes, that's right. Cool. I think that the numbers are the exact same too, right? These are like the exact same percentage bonuses, exact same like AP, armor, AD. These are 9%, 6, 8%, 50. Yeah. This looks all the same. I think the important ones were Nectin, right? To remember. Or I guess the important ones to remember is that Rost. Which Kane, right? Which one's Kane? Is it this one? Use Vanguard. Like, it's like you get Vanguard plus you get Armor MR. So like this seems really important to remember. And the Renekton you have to remember because he's a 5 cost, right? And he gets like 5% attack speed. It's not that substantial. I think the only one that's like you'll actually feel the effects of it is like the Rost guild. Like if you're like, I gotta splash in a guild unit, like this is probably your best bet. 5 Vintage Heavenly is back. Ares, easy routes out. Oh, fuck. I forgot about that shit, man. Alright, next one. Exotech. Gain unique items that can only be equipped by Exotech champions. They gain HP and attack speed for each item equipped. Okay, so it's trying to incentivize you to stack Exotech items, right? Or no. They gain HP and attack speed for each item equipped. So as long as you have any item equipped. It's incentivizing you to itemize your Exotech units as much as possible with... Okay, got it. So it gives you... What is it? The stats-wise, it's HP, a little bit... This is very little attack speed. What? 2% to 3% attack speed? I mean, I guess I know it's balanced around the item, but damn. 5 does not seem very good. I guess it depends. It's like an offensive scrap. Yeah, I could see that. Let me see. I mean, it's also like, it's like Ink Shadow as well, right? I would assume this counts as components as well. So it truly is like scrap. It doesn't say fully, it doesn't say completed item, right? It just says for each item equipped. So components should count towards the bonus. Cool. Let's look at the Exotech items. Cool. All right, first one. Corrupted chassis. All shields are 15% more effective on the holder. Every 7 seconds, siphon 12% of the owner's max HP from the current target and convert it to a shield for 5 seconds. Okay, so you want corrupted on a shielding unit. Okay. Do any of the Exotech units shield? I mean, I would assume they do. Should we already start like thinking about this shit? Should I make like a separate page here? Instead of just important units to remember, it's also like this is like Exotech item combinations. The Exotech items can only be held by the Exotech units, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, there's so many. What? Okay, so Jax has a shield. Oh, okay, hold on. What's this item called again? Sorry. Corrupted chassis. Basically, so stronger shields. And then gain more shields over time. Okay. And then, so it looks like corrupted chassis is going to be good on Jax. Sundering, so this one doesn't have it. Physical damage, no. And Mordekaiser. I'll show on screen the notes at the very end of the Exotech units. Fire chain does back damage. Chain, no. 30% more armor and more from all sources. Gain an AMP, the closest enemy that explodes. No. Dash to nearby location so quickly. Okay, no. So it looks like it's just Jax and Mordekaiser are the two that can have it. Alright, next one. Cyber Coil. Abilities and attacks mark enemies for 5 seconds. Heal for 18% of damage dealt to marked enemies. And it gives armor MR. So it looks like you put this on a tank. I should probably write down the stats as well. So this is 40 armor MR. So mark enemies to make them vulnerable. $40 armor MR. Heal for 18% of damage dealt to marked enemies. Heal for... well... I don't know how to make that any shorter of a sentence, but okay. Heal for 18% of the damage marked enemies. So, I mean, this also just seems like tank, right? But I wonder if there's like a better, better way to itemize it, potentially. Because, like, Sejuani specifically gets 30% more armor MR from all sources, right? So, like, putting Cyber Coil is, like, super good on Sejuani. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's, like, probably some, like, units that are, like, super, super good with this item versus others. Jax's Bastion. No. I mean, you still put it on Jax. Like, you'd still put it. But I guess, like, Sejuani, like, if I had to categorize, it's, like, S+ tier. And then Mordekaiser was also a tank. Shield 4 seconds, slam the current target, and stun all enemies hit. Okay. What else is there? Nothing else. Okay. That seems fine. I wonder if you could put it on... Wait, do any of the units do AoE, like, damage? You mark enemies to make them vulnerable, right? Sorry, the marking works by... Mark support by dealing damage. Is there anybody with like a lot of AoE or hits a lot of units? So Jax has like AoE damage. Let's see. Like Jin's grenade bounces. I mean, it's 84 mana. It needs 70 to cast. It's kind of a lot. Fire bouncer grenade that hits 4 enemies. Sunders 20% for 4 seconds. The fourth bounce reduces the initial target, deals damage. No. I feel like you'd have to cast so early. Let's see. Nefiri. Summon 3 packmates that deal physical damage. And 1 alphas that deal... What is 1? And 1 plus 1 per amp? Alphas that deal physical damage to the current target? Alphas summoned? What the fuck are alphas? Is that like the bees? I mean, I'd assume so, right? But that's so much damage. Plus 1 per amp? So, like, do you get, like, if you have, like, 30% ability amp, do you get 30 of these? I'm a dip. No worries. Take care, bro. What the fuck does that mean? If you have 30 alphas that deal 83 damage to the current target, isn't that, like, 2,400 damage? Surely that something about that has to be wrong. That can't be right. I don't think there's anything else in here that's like... Chain links to the 3 closest enemies. So like at most you can hit like 4 enemies if you put this on a unit, but it's nothing that's like... crazy. I guess I'll put like... I mean, I guess Jin, Varus... Dash to a nearby location so quickly untargetable Echo lingers. The Echo attacks as if it would Zeri, but deals X amount of damage. Echoes last 5-7. So maybe Zeri. So like, this item could go on these units if you need like a... Jesus, what the fuck was that? That shit was so loud. I don't know if you guys heard that shit. That shit like fucking scared the fuck out of me. It was like some sort of alert from TikTok Live. Jesus Christ. Alright. I think that's fine. Alright. Let's see what is next. Flux capacitor. Attacks. Let me write this down. Flux capacitor 1580. 25% attack speed. Attack store charge. At 4 charges, the next attack consumes the charges to deal 50% of the target's max HP as physical damage or reduces armor by 10. So it's Sunders. And 50% of max HP as damage. Every 4 autos. Okay. I mean, this sounds like a Zeri item. 100%. Pretty sure Zeri's also like a Genzu holder for sure. We're just already gonna write down Zeri. Does Jin need it? Not really. I feel like Jin like probably autos like super slow. Like it's probably terrible in Jin. Like his damage in his kit is probably the same as like his like league Q. Like it's a lot of like damage comes from his Q. Fire chain does med damage for 1 second. Nah, that does not sound very good either. Deal physical damage to the current target to summon 3 packmates. It could be good on Nefiri. I could see it being good on Nefiri. That actually makes a lot of sense. Because Right? Deal... She wants to keep casting, but she's an attack fighter. 1 hex range. I mean, I guess it depends on the numbers. But it could be good on the Fury. I don't know. I'd have to see it in action. But I would assume you want her to keep casting. So Neferi to me looks like a Ginsu's melee holder. But it could also be like BT Titans. I'll put a question mark next to the Fury. Let's see. What else is there? I don't think it's good on Zed. It's definitely not good on Sejuani. Definitely good on Zed. It looks like it's just Zeri and Neferi. Like maybe Neferi. But Neferi's like kind of questionable. Alright, next one. Hollow Bow. What's Hollow Bow do? Hollow Bow. 15% attack speed. 20 AP. 15 mana. So it helps to cast faster. Attacks that critically strike grant 2 bonus mana. After casting an ability, gain 40% crit chance for 5 seconds. Attacks that critically strike grant 2 bonus mana. So it's like incentivizing a cast, right? So gain crit, basically. Gain crit for 5S after casting. And then the attacks that critically strike gain 2 bonus mana. So you want 100% crit strike for anyone holding Hollow Bow, right? So this also seems like Ginsu. So I'm just gonna write the same thing. It's Zeri and the Fury. I can't imagine it being anything. Maybe Jin. No, I mean I can't even see this being good on the Fury either though, because then you want a crit build. So it'd be like Hollow Bow, but it'd be like Hodge IE. But then where's your attack speed? I can't even see this being good on the Fury. Or maybe it can be. Auto script. Because the thing, it's weird. Because like you want every auto to... If you have 100% crit though, wouldn't you want it to crit? Wouldn't you want 100% crit to get the bonus mana all the time? But then once you cast, then you get 40% bonus. So you kind of want that like early cast first. So then wouldn't you want 60% instead to get 100% after, guaranteed? But then maybe you want QSS instead then. Like QSS... But QSS Hodge Hollow Bow sounds really odd. How much crit is that? If we had Neferi? And it's like... QSS Hodge? 20% crit plus 20% is 40%. So that doesn't even sound right. Yeah. You have 40% crit? What is IE? Is IE also the same? 35%. So it's like this probably, right? Does the item itself gives crit, right? It doesn't. You literally don't get crit from this item. So if you have this, it's like 95% crit. So 55 plus... Yeah, 55 plus 40, you get 95%. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure this Hollow Bow item sounds kind of trash. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I don't think this Hollow Bow item... Right, no. Hollow Bow seems worse than other Exotech items. Put a note there. Alright, next one. Hyper Fangs. 20 AD, 20 AP, 15% Omnivamp. Hyper Fangs 2-word. Kind of odd, but okay. 20 AD, 20 AD AP, 15% Omnivamp. Alright, what does it do? When you damage an enemy, store 25% of your damage dealt to them. After 4 seconds, deal the stored damage to the target and the nearest enemy as physical damage. Okay. So it kind of like increases... I mean, it just seems like more damage, basically. That's literally just it. There's more damage. You get a damage an extra unit, really. I guess you could say this is like 125% bonus damage. Or no, sorry, not 125%. 125% total output, but 25% bonus damage. Every 4 seconds, I'd say. 25% bonus damage every 4 seconds. So to get the most value out of this, it also seems like Ginsu. Right? So it seems like Zeri is also just, again, Hyper Fangs is really good on Zeri. But yeah, Omnivamp, so it's definitely good on the Fury. And then maybe it's good on Zed as well. What was it called? Exotech? Fire Chain that deals magic damage, stuns for 1 second. And stuns for 1 second. The chain links to the 3 closest enemies. But Hyper Fangs only is based on the current target, right? How much damage you're dealing to the current target. Yeah. Or I would assume, yeah, it doesn't say it, but I assume it's just for the current target. So I feel like I feel like it's kind of mid on Zed. Fucking Mordekaiser carry? Not really. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just, again, the Fury. Maybe Jin? I feel like I haven't seen an item that's like that I'm like, oh, this is so good on Jin. Because he seems like more of a caster. Oh, this ain't even Zed. This is Varus. What am I saying? Yeah, so it's definitely not good on Varus. He's also a caster, right? Oh, so it's this R from League. Okay, okay. Yeah, I can't see it being very good. Actually, I could see it being okay. I'll put Varus as like a question mark. But, like, doesn't use the Omnivamp. Yeah. It seems kind of mid. I'm just trying to think if there's any, like, good, like, reroll Exotech. But even when, like, Exotech was, like, when Ink Shadow was good back in, like, set 11, there wasn't any, like, Ink Shadow reroll. Volibear was an Ink Shadow unit. Oh, no. It was Senna. Senna Shen. What am I saying? Senna Shen was the Ink Shadow reroll. Was there anything like that this set? Like, the Fury Jin seems to be, like, this is something that you should be rerolling with them. But it might just be, like, a one-item Ink Shadow. Because Senna was, like, you could play 5 Ink Shadow. Because you could get Toxin plus Vow, right? But I don't remember if you ever played more than 3. It was so long ago. But 7 Ink Shadow was a thing at a certain point. It just was a very unpopular line because it was like a... I think it was like a 5-cost Ink Shadow. I think it was Udyr. And it was like really hard to hit. So like unless you had the emblem, like you wouldn't play it. And even with the emblem, it was kind of mid. Okay. Next item. Repulsor Lantern. This gives 444 HP. Sounds like a Jin item. But it's not. Let's see. Gain 5% HP. Every 3 seconds, deal 8% of the damage. Holder's max HP as magic damage. Okay, so it's for tanks. Okay. I mean, this sounds like Mordekaiser. This sounds like Sejuani. No. Take the Fury would be pretty funny, but I don't think that's really a thing. Maybe Jax as well. It actually pairs with Jax really nicely. Right? He does damage already to adjacent enemies. Like Repulsor Lantern Jax carry. I'll put a question mark. Like potentially. I could see like Repulsor Lantern Jax carry with like Crown Guard, like kind of like Steb, like Archangel's BT Titans. Or sorry, it'd be Archangels. Do you even need Archangels? You'd want Omnivamp, so you want BT for sure. But maybe BT Archangels. Archangels Repulsor, you play Vertical Bastion. So you get the Armor MR, you get the HP from Repulsor, and then you get like infinite shielding plus AP scaling and Omnivamp from BT. I could see it actually. That actually sounds really good. So it's like very similar to Step Carry from like this set. That actually sounds solid as fuck actually. I'm actually down to try it. I think you can do that with Mordekaiser as well. Right? It could totally work with Mordekaiser as well. So like Mordekaiser carry. Question mark. I could see it being a thing. I'm not like convinced that like it will be a thing, but I could totally see it being a thing. And like maybe it's like Repulsor Lantern, like 6 Bruiser Repulsor Lantern. No, it'd be 4 on 7. So 6 Bruiser Repulsor Lantern with like 3 Exotech. No, it would be 3. It does fit on 7. 6 Bruiser. Eh? 6 Bruiser? 2 Exotech already in with Varus? No, it does not fit on 7. Okay. So like maybe it's like, I don't know, like a reroll on 7 board. Maybe reroll on 8 a little bit. I can totally see it though. I can totally see it. I think it's fine. Yeah. Like Mordekaiser Varus. I have Rengar's in this set, so maybe Rengar Varus is really good. I think that's what Disco said earlier. So like Rengar Varus with like Mordekaiser. Why don't we just like theorize it real quick? Totally could. Varus, Mordekaiser. And then you want Bruisers. I don't think Golnox matters. It does not fit on 7. 3 Exotech. So it'd probably be like you drop the Mundo, you probably drop Darius. I mean, I don't know if their traits would matter. You want 3 Exotech? It's probably Sejuani then. Oh no, sorry, it'd be Zed. Oh, not Zed. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have a +1. Versus an Executioner. Okay, yeah, this is totally going to be a board. 100%. I can totally see this being a board. There's so much good shit in here. Street Demon, Slayer. A 1 cost with 3 traits? Street Demon, Slayer. It might be a Mundo over somebody else, and then you put in Street Demon on, Oh no, it for sure is. You probably drop... Oh, you probably drop Gragas, right? Divinicore? Oh no, it's Divinicore. I guess you drop... I don't like the idea of dropping Kabuko. But like, I feel like you wouldn't be playing Kabuko for like a long ass time. And then eventually you play Kabuko 2 over Cho'Gath 2, I think. Okay, yeah. And you want like 3 Street Demon? There's probably Samira. Oh, and you can get AMP if you really wanted to. Oh. Oh. So like Sejuani until like Neferi, I could see it. Were any of the regular items changed? No, they were not. I don't think any of the regular items are different. Obviously the spats and the stuff is different, but that's it. This looks solid as fuck to me though. I'm gonna save this board. Damn. Nice. Little cook there, not bad. But yeah, I definitely think this is like a Rengar 3, like Varus 3 board. Like this could totally be a thing. 110%. I don't think Boombots matters. I don't think Tech is gonna matter. Brand is Street Demon. But Mundo's Bruiser. Maybe on 9. Yeah. Okay, I think that's gonna be that board. I'm gonna save that for now. Alright, what else is there? Next item. And... last one, Pulse Stabilizer. Oh wait, sorry, I gotta remember. We theorize this because of Repulsor Lantern. So actually it's these 3. They're like the big ones. Man, this is an expensive fucking board. Yeah. I mean, if there's a good Exotech item for Varus, like that could work too. But I haven't seen one that like nothing screams like good Varus Exotech item. Maybe this last one does. Pulse Stabilizer. Did I write this down? I did not. Pulse Stabilizer. 25 AD. 35% crit. Execute below 12%. Abilities can critically strike. Ooh, okay, okay. Execute below 12%. Abilities can crit. If the holder's abilities can already critically strike, gain 10% crit strike damage instead. Okay, so like if I EJ, so if can already crit bonus 10% crit. I mean, do you really need that? I mean, I guess it kind of, ooh, maybe actually. What's the math on that? That sounds like a Varus item, by the way. I'm gonna put that on. Varus is probably S+ tier. And then it's probably like, if I had to guess, like Zeri's okay. I don't think Nefiri, but question mark, because it'd only be if it was like Hodge IE as like the build. I think that's the only way you could really justify it. Kai. Barak. What up, Papa John? I haven't seen your name in a minute. Yeah, this Nefiri Hodge IE comp, I'm not really sure if it's gonna be a thing. I remember it was a small thing during set 9. Because it was like Nefiri reroll and Noxus, but like I don't know if it's gonna still be a thing. Maybe. Hodge IE into Pulse Stabilizer, I could see it, but yeah, I don't know. Varus. Oh, do Executioners also gain crit? Actually? They do gain crit, okay. So it would already get with 2 crit. So okay, honestly, I'd assume you just use it in this build, right? So this would be like the Pulse Stabilizer. And then it'd probably be, I mean, it's a caster, right? Like you probably want Shojin. $75. I'd assume it's something like this. Do Zeri clones get stats from items? They do. The clones do 50% less damage of Zeri. I'd assume it includes items. Damn, how did they calculate that? I actually have no idea. It says as if it were Zeri. So by that line of reasoning, I would assume it includes the damage from items. Or the stats from items. As if it were Zeri. That's such a weird phrasing. They've never used that before. As if it were Zeri. I wonder if there's some sort of like... It probably gets the stats from items, but it doesn't have any of the abilities or effects from it, right? Like if you build the Last Whisper on Zeri, like I doubt the clones would actually apply the Last Whisper. That'd be insane. Yeah, attacks is specifically labeled as 80 and attack speed. So it probably does have the stats, but it doesn't have any of the effects of it. Neither, it's only 80 and 8. So it sounds like to me, it's like Gintu's plus like, it's Gintu's plus like full damage. If I had to guess. And like you want like 80, not like crit. Because if you have crit, Yeah, you want flat AD on Zeri. Because if she's not actually doing anything with her abilities, right? And she doesn't get any crit chance from her clones. So it sounds like you want like true Bist Zeri is probably like double Deathblade Ginsu's. Or double Ginsu's Deathblade. Right? Or maybe double Ginsu's Gunblade. Fuck it. Run it back. I don't know. It's either double Deathblade or it's double Ginsu's Gunblade. It's one of the two. But double Deathblade sounds ridiculously stupid. Maybe... Yeah. But that might be true Bis, low-key. You know that one augment, that prismatic, that gives you like 580 items? Maybe. Or 5 swords, rather. Maybe. It has potential. But I mean, I don't know. Okay, yes. And then, hold on. So what's the math on this? Before we move on to the next thing. So 25... Execution abilities can critically strike. They also gain bonus crit strike and crit damage. Where do you go? If the target is held below 30%, the bonus critical strike is doubled. Oh, okay. So you get 25% from the trait if you have 2, plus another 35% from this. But it can already crit, so you get 45%. So it gets... I did not know IE did this. If the ability's holder can already critically strike, gain 10% crit strike damage instead. I did not know the second clause in the item. Okay, so that means for Executioner, that means for 2 Executioner, 25% crit plus 45% crit, putting you at 70. Plus this item gives 25%, so you're at 95%. So you're at 105%. Sorry. With 35%. And then plus this, you're at 115%. And then it gets converted at a 2-to-1 ratio after 100, so you get 7.5% damage amp, right? That sounds really good, actually. I could see it. I could see it. But I think this like AP Mordekaiser build's also like super fucking cool. Like I could totally see like this being a thing. And then whatever the fuck Rengar is, probably like Hadragi if I had to guess. Usually Rengar as like an assassin is usually something like this. Like double Hodge. Or it might just be like true Bis is like just triple Hodge. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like true Bis Rengar. Maybe you want a GA. But I think he de-aggroes based off his ability. Right? We'll go back to it. But I think that's generally what that comp is going to look like. Alright, that was Exotech. Those are all the items. Damn, that was a lot. Alright, next one. They have all the Exotech items here. I did not know that. Oopsies. God of the Net. After 2-player combats, open an armory of trait mods that permanently reprogram each champion to benefit from a trait. If you get a trait mod, the next one requires 1 additional round. Okay, so it does take a while to actually ramp up. I didn't know that it takes 1 additional round after the first one. Every time you get one. So you need a whole stage just to get 2. I feel like after 2 whole stages, like you're not really thinking about the trade mod anymore. So you actually have to be kind of picky choosy about what you're putting on. I guess we can come back to this after we look through all the trades and think about like which ones are good or bad. Alright, next one. Golden Ox. Gain damage amp and have a chance to drop gold on kill. Okay. Oh, it says the percentage here. Okay, cool. This sounds like a win streak trait. You spend 8 gold on rerolls or XP in a single turn, permanently increase their damage amp and gold required for the next bonus. Rerolls count double towards gold spent. Rerolls count double towards gold. Oh, okay. Gold Oxen must have fought the last round. Okay, cool. You get 80% damage amp, 20% gold, 20% damage amp, 30% gold, 20%, 50% loot, 8% chance loot is a component. 6 sounds fucking disgusting. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you need Viego. Okay. I mean, Golden Ox plus 1 though. Still, like you can probably farm pretty fast and like cap pretty high. Like, I don't know. This shit kind of reminds me of like, it kind of reminds me of, whatchamacallit? Fucking Conqueror. Super similar. But rerolls count double towards gold spend is important to take note of. Moving on, Nitro, the summon trait. Every round, Nitro champions grant Chrome to the T-Hex based on their star level. Each Chrome grants 14 HP and 1 AP. grant chrome based on their star level. So I would assume that, like... I'd assume you get 2 chrome per star level, right? 2 chrome for 2 star and 3 chrome for 3 star. So Nitro's definitely like a 3 chrome, or what do you call it? 3 star like reroll. Like you definitely want to reroll this. It's definitely like a 1 star reroll. Yeah. I wonder if there's any hidden meanings behind these numbers. Oh, T-Hex robot. Okay. Very funny, Riot. Very funny. Haha. Very funny. Alright, next one. Overlord, the unique one from Renekton specifically. Overlord takes a bite out of the unit behind and the Hex behind him, dealing 40% of their max HP as true damage, gains 40% of their HP and 33% of their AD. So, again, the T-Hex grants HP and AP, right? But it also stacks up like an insane amount if you can get it on super early. So, like, you could have Renekton theoretically bite the T-Hex. I've seen it do really well. But I guess if... I don't know. Like, that's probably like the best thing that you can bite out of most instances. But I wonder, like, what else are the things that are available, right? Because at the end of the day, it's... You get 40% of their health and 33% of their AD, right? So when you want someone that has high HP, high AD to bite out of, I don't know what that would look like though. I'm playing around with 5 cost seems like really, really sus. So I don't know how much people are gonna abuse this thing. Maybe out of Nitro specifically, you play around Overlord, but that's like the only thing I can really think of off the top of my head. Maybe there's a trait that gives a lot of AD. I don't know. Soul Killer, the Viego one. Gain a hologram copy of the highest cost enemy Viego helped kill last round. It's the highest cost. So usually you're gonna end up getting something like a tank or something. It has 600 HP and deals X% damage and has a 1 recommended item. It's like 5 cost Kench? No. Kench, you actually feed him units and you lose money to make him stronger, right? The Renekton, you just throw it onto your board. I'm going to show you. Renekton, you just throw on the board. And then behind it, in this Hex here, it like lights up. So like if you have like Nitro, for example. Oh, it doesn't have the T-Hex yet. But like it would automatically summon like a T-Hex. Imagine this is a T-Hex. You can put it like this. And Renekton will like take a chomp out of it. So you're not like feeding it, but like he'll automatically take a bite out. Alright, next one. Street Demon. Allies in painted hexes gain HP, AP, and AD. Some hexes are signature hexes and grant 50% more. Street Demons double alt bonuses. Wait, what? How is this from Anima Squad? Oh, my bad. This is the KDA of the set. Sorry, not Anima Squad. Sorry. Jesus. Getting confused. KDA of the set. Very similar to KDA. Anybody can get the stats, but Street Demons get double. But some hexes are signature and they grant 50% more. So, numbers-wise, if you have a Street Demon unit in a signature hex, they would get, instead of, let's use 10% as the easy number. So instead of 10 AP, they'd be getting 15 AP, and you double it, so then you get 30. Right? So you do the 50% first, and then you double it. So instead of like 9 AP on 3, it'd be getting 18. Or sorry, instead of 12 AP, it'd be getting 18. Wait. 10, 15, 30. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was like an easy way to do the math in my head, but I guess there's not. I'm not smart enough. I'm really bad at math also, so that exists. But also the Street Demon is the big thing about Street Demon is just like you gotta make sure that like if you have a +1 for Street Demon, specifically on like a Golem or on like a trainer Golem or a trainer dummy, you can hit 10 pretty easily. This is basically KDA and Rebels put into one. Our next one is Syndicate. Gain a Kingpin hat that uniquely upgrades a Syndicate champion's ability. Syndicate champions gain HP and damage amp. Okay, so Syndicates is HP, damage amp, and you get a hat. And then each Syndicate champion has its own unique ability. Alright. Cool. Alright, next one. Virus. The Zac one. Infects your shop with a 10% chance to spawn a Boblet. When purchased, it merges and increases the strongest Zac's max HP by 3% and beat AP by 5. So it actually stacks a shitload of AP if you get to reroll a lot of it. Or stack a lot of it. 10 Boblets is 50 AP. Which is a lot. That's a lot. On average, you're seeing 1 Boblet every 2 shops. One Boblet every 2 shops. 10 Boblets every 20 shops. I feel like when I was watching Sub-Zero play this game though, like during the playtest, it looked like you were getting so many Boblets though. Maybe I was just high rolling them, but like I feel like getting 10 was like not hard at all. Also, is it 1 every 2 shops? Am I mathing right? Or is it 10% chance per shop slot? Because those are 2 very different things, right? Or are they the same thing? I think they're the same thing. Dude, I don't know. I'm so bad at math. If it's 10% per shop slot... No, if it's 10% per shop slot, it is different. Because... It does cost 0 gold to purchase, yes. Because I think statistically, you get more rolls versus 10% chance. Like you get 1 roll, 1 chance to see it 10% versus 5 chances to see it at a 10% odds, right? And the latter would mean you have much higher chances of hitting it because you're rolling your shop so often. Right? Yes. Yes? No? Golden Ox into Zac cap? No. You're thinking too small, my friend. Think fast into Zac. That's the tech. Alright. AMP. I think these are the origins now. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Maybe, must be 10% per shop. 10% per shop slot sounds too broken, but I don't know. When I was watching Sub-Zero play during the playtest, it really looked like 10% per shop slot. Maybe he's a perpetual high roller, but that's what it looked like. He was definitely hitting like a lot of Boblets. So, I don't know. Maybe the coding is funny, so it's not spawning nearly... Like, maybe someone like coded it in a way where it's like 5 independent events instead of 1 independent event. I'm not sure. That is definitely... Should I ask? Hold on. I could probably ask. Let me go into, the playtest. The playtest has a channel that we can ask the devs questions. Is the chance to spawn a Bloblet 10% across the whole shop or 10% per shop slot? AKA 5 chances to find Bloblet versus 1. During the playtest, it felt like the latter, but not 100% sure. Alright, I asked the devs. Is this on PBE? Not yet. It is out on PBE. So according to Mort, he said, we don't give a specific time since a lot can go wrong and PBE isn't something that they fully control. But generally, afternoon, Tuesday, Pacific time is a good estimate, but again, can't promise it. So Tuesday afternoon, supposedly. Which is like evening for me because I'm on East Coast, but okay, that's fine. It's good to know, yeah. Usually, so if you want to know when the PBE goes live, the minute it goes live, you go to Mordog's Discord, and in his Discord, there's a role. There's a general category, and in there, there's a rule in there called at PBE NFTs. I don't know why it's called that, but I don't know how to get that rule exactly. Oh no, there's a thing. Yeah, so okay, I can probably just show this on stream. In here, on Mordog's Discord, there's roles. And here, if you click on this one, on the pause champ, it gives you it'll give you PBE notifications. And so then in here, you'll be pinged when the set goes live on the PBE. That's how like a lot of the streamers are able to find out like when the set goes on live so fast, because they just get immediately pinged and then you know what's going on. So yeah. All right. Anyways, got hella sidetracked. Okay, AMP. AMP champions upgrade their abilities in unique ways with AMP. They also gain HP. Wait, what? AMP champions upgrade their abilities in unique ways with AMP. They also gain HP. So you get 1 AMP. Oh, this is what the new fairy thing was earlier. Oh, that's what they meant by AMP. Okay, it's not damage AMP. So what? They also gain... So for Nidalee, deal magic damage to the current target and 80 to damage to the 2 nearest enemies. Okay, I get it now. Okay, I would assume the AMP is probably... Are they talking about like a fucking like an amp, like a speaker amp? Is that what that's in reference to? Because if anything, this is the same as Syndicate, right? Like you put a little thingy on, but instead of a hat, it's amp. I would think. Oh no, they all get amp. They all get amp, and then you get more amp the higher you go in the vertical. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. There we go. All AMP units get amp, but as you increase along the vertical, you get more amps, and then that changes the ability because all their abilities has some sort of weird like quantity change based on amp. Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. Next one. Bastions. Gain armor MR. Bastion. Okay. So first off, 2 Bastion on the board. Always a good flex unit or flex trait, because your whole team gets armor MR. Which, by the way, is more than the guild bonus that you get from Divinicorp. For the first 10 seconds of combat, Bastions increase their bonuses by 100%. So they get, instead of 18, 36 armor MR for the first 10 seconds. Got it. Very straightforward. Non-Bastions gain an additional 40 armor MR at 6 Bastions. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So it's really easy to hit 6. Non-Bastions gain an additional 40. So your whole team gets 50 armor MR. Whole team gets 50 armor MR if you get 6. And then Bastions have 180 armor MR for the first 10 seconds. Okay, got it. Very straightforward. Bruiser. Team gains 100 HP. So also, team-wide buff if you have 2 Bruiser. And Bruisers gain more than just that. Cool. 20%, 45, 75%. Very straightforward. Dynamo. Basically, Scholars. Every 3 seconds, your team gains mana. Dynamos gain 100% more. So instead of 5, they get 10. Every 3 seconds. 8, 16 every 3 seconds. 24 every 3 seconds. Got it. And that's for Dynamo specifically. The whole team gains more mana. Got it. This set does not seem that complicated trait-wise. It seems like everything is something old rebranded. Yeah, I think so as well. Because, I mean, think about it. Logistically, like, Riot had to put all the money into set 13, right? So set 14 is probably going to be like a very chill bunch of reprints type shit. But, yeah. Alright, next one. Executioner. Executioner abilities can critically strike. So everybody gets innate JGIE. They also gain bonus crit strike chance and critical strike damage. If the target's health is below 30%, the bonus critical strike damage is doubled. Okay, so they get double the bonus critical strike damage. So if your crit strike, so let's say you have 100, let's say you have 100, your auto does 100 damage. And then it crits. Now you're doing 200. But the bonus critical strike damage is doubled. So then you'd actually be doing 300, right? It's actually a lot. Like, it's actually like a lot. Interesting, okay. Well, I mean, I guess they live up to the name, right? Executioners. Let's see. So 25. They also gain... Sorry, hold on. Ability critical strike, they also gain bonus critical strike damage. Just critical strike damage. 25. Sorry, what is this? Oh, this is the critical strike damage bonus. Okay, got it. So it's 8%, so it is... So if your critical strike damage does 100, then you do 108. Okay. Got it. So if your auto did 100, and the target's above 30, then you do 208 on a crit auto. Right? And then if it was below 30%, it would be doing more than that. This is a lot of damage. You should focus too much on the numbers. They're all going to change anyways. Yeah, I'm just trying to like just get a general idea. It's like, or like a sense of like how the trait works. I just want to make sure that like once the set goes live and like I have an idea, it's like what the numbers look like. Like I can like quickly like piece it together in my head without thinking too much about the process. So I'm just like trying to practice like the thought process. Alright. Next one, Marksman. Marksman gain AD. After 8 seconds of combat, they increase their bonus by 100%. Alright, pretty straightforward. Gain AD is what the trait is. And then after 8 seconds, you double this bonus. 8 seconds. Okay, so they like long fights. I remember this Jinx unit during playtest felt really good. Definitely a really good unit to temple with. Like Ginsu's Jinx. I think it's pretty good. Rapid Fire. Team gains 10% attack speed. Okay, so again, whole wide team buff. Rapid Fire champions gain more... hold on. Okay, no. Marksman doesn't give a team-wide buff. Rapid Fire team gains 10% attack speed. Rapid Fire champions gain more on each attack, stacking up to 10 times. Gain more attack speed per attack, stacking up to 10 times. Okay. So it's like innate Ginsu's. Cool. Alright. This one, Slayers. Slayers gain AD and Omnivamp. Overhealing heals the lowest percent health Slayer for 50% of the excess amount. Slayers gain AD and Omnivamp. Overhealing heals the lowest percent HP Slayer for 50% of the excess amount. Okay, got it. So it's like Gunblade for your other for your like lowest HP Slayer. So you're kind of incentivized to play. Well, 2 Slayer sounds the best. That way they can like help each other. But it's based on overhealing though, so you want like a lot of Omnivamp. Okay. Strategists. Combat start. Allies in the back 2 rows gain damage amp. Allies in the front 2 rows gain durability. Strategist gets triple. Okay. Allies in the back 2 row gain damage amp. So you get damage amp at the back, and then you get durability in the front? You get durability in the front, damage amp at the back. And triple it. So at 5 you get 60% damage amp. And 3 times 14, 42% durability. It's actually a lot. I'm really curious to see how strategist plays out. But it's a lot of like, it's nice though. I saw Robin was playing like 5 strategists, endless hordes, which sounds like really fucking good. That was really smart of him. Next one, Techie. Techies gain AP. Okay, so Techie is just Sorks. Enemies hit by their abilities deal 10% less damage for 3. Okay, so it's Sorks, but it also has damage nullification built into the kit. And then that damage nullification increases at 8. I wouldn't be surprised if they get rid of this 8 piece eventually. But there's so many Techies. But like the same way that they got rid of 8 Sorks, like they might just get rid of the 8 piece and just keep it at 6. Vanguard. Vanguards gain 10% durability while shielded. So Vanguards want to shield. Okay. They want to shield and stay shielded, right? Wait, actually durability bonus. Combat start 50. Combat start end at 50% HP. Gain a max health shield for 10 seconds. Okay, it's a lot of shield actually. What the fuck? So, I mean, Guard Breaker sounds pretty good. If there's like a meta Vanguard, the Guard Breaker sounds really nice. They have 40% max HP shield at 6 and 20% 20% durability as well while shielded. Okay, so Vanguard's like shielding, and so Vanguard's is durability, Bastion's is armor MR, Bruiser's HP. Those are the 3 Tink ones. And then Strategist is also durability. So durability Strategist, Bastion's armor MR, Bruiser's is HP, Vanguard is a little bit of durability, but it's also shielding. Shielding is the main component. Sorry. So shielding, a little bit of durability. Vanguard. Strategist is durability. Bruisers is HP. Bastions is armor MR. Yes. Okay. Good. Very good. Okay, we went through. Oh my god, dude. Dude, I was gonna upload this whole thing to YouTube. I was gonna cut it down a little bit. But, like, just going over the trades, I felt like that took so long. Alright, let's go over the items. Oh, not the items, sorry, the units. I'm not talking about the units yet. Okay, man, this is a lot of information, bro. Like, obviously, as you play the game, you get to, like, sort of, like, fast track it. But, like, actually, like, sitting down and studying this shit, like, dude, this is a lot of info. Alright, I gotta actually, like, finally update the notes, though. So, like, we can actually figure out, like, which units do what. Alright. First one, Alistar. Gilded Entrance. Passive. Reduce all incoming damage. Okay, so its passive reduces incoming damage by a flat amount. Which scales off AP. Active. Deal 200 or deal X amount of magic damage to the current target and stun them for 2 seconds. So it's a single CC stun. So singular hard CC. Alistar. Okay. Next one. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. And then reduce all incoming damage. Yeah. Next one. Dr. Mundo. This is a crazy skin, dude. What the fuck is that? It looks like a one of those Japanese masks. I forget what they're called, but it's pretty cool. Passive, gain 30% more max HP from all sources. Okay. So he's still based around like the high HP thing. So he gets 30% more from his bruiser trait. Active, he flexes, healing HP and then dealing physical damage to the current target. Okay, interesting. His active just does damage. Okay, maybe vertical bruiser and slayer with Mundo might be a thing. I'm not sure. Is there a 1-cost slayer? Oh, Mundo Shaco? That sounds really odd. Maybe. Oh, an Oni mask. Yes, that's right. Thank you. Next one, Jax. Exotech Bastion. Gain a shield for 4 seconds and then deal magic damage to adjacent enemies. So again, I think Jax could be a potential, like Jax Riddle carry could be a thing. With that, what is it called? Repulsor Lantern? It could be a thing. Oh, sorry. Corrupted Chassis could also be a thing as well. Yeah, we might actually see Jax CD come back. Deadass. Alright, next one. Kindred. Nitro Rapid Fire Marksman. Fire a wolf at the current target, dealing X amount of damage. Overkill damage bounces to the nearest target. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Nothing to really note. Next one. Cog Mao. For the next 5 seconds, gain 50% attack speed and attacks deal bonus physical damage. So, this sounds like a Ginsu holder again. Maybe Shojin because he's a rapid fire unit. But yeah. It looks like you just build, like... You basically build him the same way you did before. He's AD though, right? Attack deal bonus physical damage. Yeah. 40% AD. So you want to build AD on him. Like Deathblade maybe. Deathblade, maybe IE. I could see it. Maybe Gunblade, depending on how much splash there is. Gunblade Deathblade's a crazy build. I don't think that would be the case, but maybe. I can't see it though. Like Shojin, Gunblade, Deathblade. That's a crazy build. I like, nah, I mean, nah, no way. Maybe GS Deathblade instead. I mean, Gunblade sounds so weird. Alright, moving on. Morgana. Hack the target and the nearest non-hacked enemy. Dealing AoE over 10 seconds. This is literally the exact same Morgana as this set, no? I'm pretty sure this is the exact same Morgana as this set. Did the copy and paste? It actually feels like copy and paste. Okay, next one. Nidalee. Charged Claws. Deals X amount of magic damage to the current target. And magic damage to the X amount of nearest enemies based on her trait. She also heals HP based off enemy hit. So magic fighter. So this sounds like BT Archangels. Like BT Archangels Titans. Sounds pretty good to me. Alright, next one. Poppy. Magic tank. Throw a buckler at the farthest enemy within 4 hexes. Dealing armor. Sorry, dealing magic damage that scales off armor and AP. Final form. Hold on, I hate the way this is worded. Throw a buckler at the farthest enemy within 4 hexes, dealing X amount of magic damage, and then final form to them, and magic damage to enemies within 1 hex. Okay, so she does AoE damage on top of her buckler, right? This is the isn't this the Poppy from This we've had this before. This is set 1 Poppy. Whoa, not set 1. Sorry, set 9 Demacian. One cost Poppy reroll from set 9. Set 12. You're right, 9. Okay. I was like set 12. I was like, I'm not that old. Magic and Mayhem. Like, I don't think that was her. Yeah. All right. Seraphine. Fire sound wave through the current target. So hold on. Just so I remember. Cyber Boss Poppy does AoE damage on top of throwing the buckler, and she scales off armor. Okay. So the Bramble augment thorn plated armor would be really good with her. Witchcraft Poppy? No, not Witchcraft Poppy. It's set 9 Demacian Poppy. That's what it was. Alright, Seraphine. Fire sound wave through the current target that deals X amount of damage, reduced by 40% for each enemy hit. So, okay. Deal damage in a wave. Reduced by 40% for each enemy hit. It's important to know that she is a techie, though. Because she's a techie, that means that anytime she's throwing that wave out, she's also causing those enemies to deal 10% less damage, right? Important to know. I'm pretty sure Seraphine reroll was like a thing for sure during the playtest. But Seraphine is rating the same as set 12? Yes. Mage Seraphine from set 12, yes. It's basically the exact same thing. Even she was Mage, and then this time it's just Techie, so. And Techie is just Sorks. So she gets bonus AP and she does damage reduction. 10%. Sorry, I forget. Techies get... Do they get bonus AP? I just want to make sure I remember this properly. Like, I actually have to take this set super seriously, so like I actually really need to make sure I understand this. No, so techies gain AP, it's just for the amount, and then their abilities do... Okay, damage nullification. Got it. Alright. Next one, Shaco. Passive, gain 1.5% AD for each kill this game. So he scales over time. You want him to do well and hit hard and kill shit. That's a crazy ability name. Felony Fantastique. Active, deal X amount of physical damage to the current target. Okay, very simple. Just a enhanced auto. Kingpin bonus. So if he's in the syndicate and he has the hat. Teleport behind the lowest health enemy within 4 hexes and deal bonus damage. So, it does seem like lowest health enemy within 4 hexes. There's probably some type of comp that involves Shaco reroll where, like, you splash damage the backline and then he just teleports and kills it. There's got to be something like that. Surely. I don't know what it is yet, but that probably exists. Very stoked for the new set to play with. Oh, hell yeah, me too. I cannot. It's tomorrow, bro. The set's like tomorrow on the PvE. It's going to be so fun. Oh, I can't wait. Alright. Vi. Oh, sorry, Silas. Excuse me. Chains of the Pack. Gain max HP and then deal magic damage to the current target. If they die, gain additional... Okay, so it doesn't scale throughout the game, but... gain HP... You just gain max HP. Permacast Silas sounds pretty fun. Scales HP like crazy with Omnivamp. Shaco Jax reroll? I don't think so, because Jax does AoE in a circle, right? And then you want the damage, though, to go onto the backline of the enemy carry. So, like, for example, I think the perfect way to position Shaco would be, like, in a perfect world, let's say, your opponent has, like, Aphelios as his carry, right? If you're playing Shaco reroll, you'd probably want... Like, Varus is, like, the first thing that comes to mind, but that's only because I don't really know the set too well yet. But, like, for example, Varus shoots his thing, and then Aphelios gets a little bit low, and then Shaco casts within a 4 hex range, and then just assassinates the Aphelios. So you'd want to position Shaco on, like, A1, A7, and then, like, something to, like, damage the Aphelios. I just don't know what unit would be the best one to try to get the Aphelios low. I'd assume it's Slayer, though, because... The reason I say that is because, Or not Slayer. I'd assume it's Executioners, like, goes well with this. Because of the way that Rengar works. Right? Like, Executioner Slayer sounds disgustingly good. Because I think Rengar is supposed to jump, right? He leaves the lowest health enemy in 2 hexes. Ah, maybe not. He just sounds like Shaco, but better. Zera's backline access? Oh, maybe. What does that do? Throws a shuriken at the farthest unmarked enemy. Then becomes untargetable, teleports to them, and summons a shadow on every other marked enemy. Okay. So, yeah. At the furthest unmarked enemy. So, you'd position like this, right? Shaco same sides at opposite side, and then it marks and then casts onto Aphelios. But what if they position here? And they position something else here, then what? I think this is pretty unreliable and super easy to position against. Right? This is like this. Then it's gonna jump on the Xayah. I'm sure there's probably something in the set that like works together well in conjunction. Like something like a Ziggs bomb from like set 10, maybe. That sounds a lot better. But I feel like Ziggs would have to cast really fast. Like I don't know, like some sort of like mana item Ziggs that causes it to insta cast and then Shaco like jumps into the back or something. Like I could see it, but like yeah, I don't know. Alright. Anyways, we'll come back to it later. We talked about this house already. Next one, Vi. Blockchain. Ooh, a crypto trader. Gain a shield that scales off AP and HP that rapidly decays over 4 seconds. Vi's next attack does physical bonus damage. Alright. Very straightforward. So it's basically her her E in League and then her W for like a single auto. Cool. Next one, Zyra, Street Demon, also a techie. Stroke of Brilliance. Send a large vine towards the current target, stunning them for 1 second, and then dealing... Okay, so she actually has a stun. We should write that down. Write that down, write that down. Stunning them for 1 second, and then dealing magic damage. Throw a smaller vine at the nearest target that also deals damage. Okay, so she has a singular... What was it? She's at stun? Stun. Is there anybody else with like CC that we didn't write down? I don't think so, right? Should we write down like Seraphine or like techies in general? I guess I'll just write techies in general have soft CC. Where it's like 10% damage nullification. Refills like a reprint of Zyra 1, that's fine. Yeah, I think so too. I feel like a 5-cost Zyra would be something like her ultimate. Or like she like slowly plants like her seeds across like the fucking across the whole board, and then eventually they like do something. That'd be like a 5-cost version, but like I feel like Zyra usually it just ends up being like her root. Okay, was there anything, did we miss anything? Any other like CC or like shred? I don't think so, right? Yeah, okay. So the only 1-cost with CC is Alistar and Zyra, who both have singular stuns. Alright, got it. Next one, Darius. Tank, now we're on the 2 costs. Knee Capper, heal X amount of HP, then deal physical damage and 20% Sunder within 1 hex for 6 seconds. So he has AoE Sunder. AoE Sunder. Write that down, write that down. AoE Sunder for 6 seconds. Sorry, I should write 1 hex. Kingpin bonus, increase the ability range to 2 hexes. And then damage reduced by 10% per hex away. Okay. So, it's the opposite of League. Where you want like the outer ring of his thing to like... You want them closer for more damage. Heal HP for each enemy hit. Okay. So it's basically his Q from League. But the damage is inverted based on like which circle it is. And then he also has Shred. So 2 hex AoE Sunder if Kingpin. I feel that's like really like subtle. For like some, I mean, no, I don't know. Like, was there ever a chance that you like Kingpin the Darius for like 1 turn during stage 2? Because you really need Sunder? I don't think so, right? I wonder if Gargoyles, BT, Sterax, Darius, BT. I wonder if Gargoyles, Sterax, BT, Darius would be super strong. I don't think so. Only because, we had Darius this set. And like, we never really saw Darius carry. But I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure. 2-cost reroll, you have to reroll in 6. Nah, I don't really think so. Maybe it has like a Giga Tank, but I find it hard to believe. I think it's a cool build though. I think it's definitely fun. But I am skeptical for sure. Because usually we've never seen a unit that can do something like that. 80 melee, but like single-handedly can tank everything with Gargoyles and then still have the damage output and healing to like not get fucked over. 1 Sunfire Cape, you're kind of done. Or like 1 red buff, and it's kind of over. Alright, next one. Echo. Street Demon Strategies. These are 2-cost now. Heal HP and deal damage to the current... It's so boring. Cool. Alright, next one. Graves. Buckshot of Midas. Oh, damn. This is a crazy name. Buckshot of a King. Attacks fire 5 projectiles in a cone. Graves casts every 2 attacks. Okay. So it's like a little shotgun. Cool. Dash next to the target and quickly fire 2 empowered shells that deal physical damage per projectile. Scales off of 80. It fires 5 projectiles. Okay, cool. So it's very similar to Graves from League of Legends. So as soon as he shoots 2 autos, then he dashes, fires another 2 empowered autos that do 2 bonus things, and then he resets. Okay, fair enough. Next one, Ilau. I'm gonna change the music because I don't know what the fuck's playing anymore. Fuck it, should we listen to like old rap music? Yeah, sure. I feel like we never listen to like old rap music. All right. What else we got? We got Jin. All right. Oh, sorry. Did we talk about Alawi? No, we did not. Apologize. Alawi, Bionic Battle Bear. Heal X amount of HP and then deal magic damage to the current target to enemies within 1 hex. So she does AoE damage. Reduce their magic resistance by 50 seconds. By 15 for the rest of combat. All right, nice. AoE Shred. It's 1 hex. 1 hex AoE Shred. Yeah. And she also heals as well. Okay, cool. Heal plus damage plus 1 hex AoE Shred. Alright. Next one. Jin. Fire a bounce grenade that hits 4 enemies. And 20% damage, 20% stunning them for 4.4 seconds. You just had to add it, huh? The 4th bounce returns the initial target and deals X amount of damage. So he hits 3 units total, but he hits the one that he's targeting for like a lot more. Alright. Jin, 2 cost. 20% sunder to 3 units. Dealing physical damage towards the sunder. Does it say is it 4 random enemies? Or is it like the same cluster of like, because Jin's Q in League, right? It's like it bounces to the closest unit. I mean, if there's logic, again, the name implies, I'd assume it bounces to the closest units, right? When do we still need LW? I kind of wonder as well. There's a lot of Shred and Sunder so far. But I mean, who knows? We're only on 2 costs. I'd assume he still won at a certain point. But like, it probably, like, I would assume the reason they have Sunder in some of these kits in like the early like 1 and 2 cost units is because you usually aren't itemizing like Last Whisper or Evan Shroud like super early on. So like having this in gives you a way to deal with players who have like Bramble Slams with Thornplate armor or like a Declaw Slam super early for some reason, stuff like that. That gives you a way to like maneuver around those if you're trying to win streak. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to know if Jin's bomb bounces the closest or not. Actually, I'm gonna ask that as well. Does Jin's grenade bounce to closest targets? Or is it random? Alright. Next one. LeBlanc, send 5 sigils alternating between the current target and the next nearest enemy, each dealing magic damage every cast and 1 more sigil. Okay, so send 5 sigils alternating between the current target and the next nearest enemy. Okay. Every cast and 1 more sigil. So you kind of want her to cast like ASAP. So sigil, Okay, got it. Kind of like a Q from League of Legends, right? Artillery Mage? Yeah, Artillery Mage for sure. I wonder what her BIS is. I'm kind of curious like what her, like how long her cast animation is. Because that sounds really long to me. Like she might actually be low-key a Ginsu holder like this set as well. I mean 50 mana though, isn't she blue buff? I have no idea. I'd assume it's blue buff. Like blue buff, blue battery sounds fucking nutty. Mana's in blue buff +1. It's probably blue buff Nashers, right? That's probably like the actual correct answer. Blue buff Nashers. She's strategist, so she gets damage amp. So it's probably Rabadon's, right? Blue battery's back? Yeah, it is. It's one of the it's one of the black market prismatics, I think. So not very common that you can take it, but you can definitely take it. So I think blue buff Nashers +1. It's very possible LeBlanc might actually just be like a blue buff Nashers Gunblade. Like, do you guys remember was it Sentinel Ari in set 10? Like, we might see like a reroll LeBlanc version of that, maybe. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes a thing. But with Cypher, you want Cypher ins. I don't know. Maybe it's a little different. As long as it's not just a random gold augment. Yeah, it's not a random gold augment. It's a prismatic black market only. Alright, next one, the Fury. Exotech AMP. Alpha Protocol. Passive already has innate passive Omnivamp, but then are active. Deals physical damage to the current target, then summon 3 packmates that deal more damage and more alphas based on the trait that also deal bonus physical damage. Okay. So it basically just does a fuck ton of damage, and if you have more AMP, you get more packs. Sorry, what are they called? Alphas? More alphas that deal even more damage. Got it. Very simple. Next one, raw. I think the Fury reroll with like 3 Exotech and like vertical AMP is probably gonna be a thing for sure. I think. I have to like play around with the traits a little bit, but we'll see. This one, Rost. Knock the target into the air for 1.75 seconds. There it is, baby. Singular CC. Rost. 2 cost. Singular stun. Knocks target into the air for 1.75 seconds. And then heal and deal physical damage to target. Is it like Rennie? Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison. It's basically like Rennie, but it's like the you know, the fucking KW. That's kind of what that is. Alright, Shyvana. First cast every second for the rest of combat. Heal HP and then deal magic damage to adjacent enemies. So AoE adjacent enemies every second. So it's the Shyvana W. And then you gain max HP and 10% damage amp. Okay, so she just needs to cast once. And then she seems like she autos like crazy. I mean, you're never playing Shyvana as a carry, though. She's techie, so she does damage nullification. So you want her to live, right? Yeah, she's a Bastion as well. Magic tank? Okay. Fair enough. This damage amp is so... Like, why do they do this? Where they just add random damage amp to units that don't need it. It's kind of odd. Maybe there's a Shyvana carry augment that utilizes it better, but usually they change the whole trait, so I don't know. Oh wait, so Mort said, okay, Mort said, okay, going back to the virus thing, Mort said it's 10% per shop slot, and it's possible to roll many per turn. And then he says the Jin grenade is closest, but he's not 100% sure on that. Okay, yeah, so it is 10% per shop slot. Okay. That's crazy, actually. So you can actually see a lot of bloblets in, like, one shop. Which makes sense. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've seen this with my own 2 eyes, so I should have concluded that, like, it is 10% per shop slot. But they're trying to empower a Shyvana carry build, like, with dragons. Maybe. I kind of doubt it, though. It does just sound like, she just gains a little bit of extra HP, and then gets some bonus damage amp. Alright, Skarner. Gain a shield for 3 seconds and dredge up a missile. When the shield ends, hurl the missile at the group of the most enemies within 2 hexes, dealing damage to scales off his armor as magic damage to the centermost enemy, and then 50% of the damage to enemies adjacent to them. Interesting, okay. I wonder if Skarner reroll ever be a thing. That sounds pretty fun, though. Hold up a group. What's the 2 enemies? I mean, the scaling damage is so low, though. 225% of armor. 60 flat. So it would be like if you had like 300 armor. Wait, that's a lot of damage. It's 350% scaling at 3 stars. I think a joke about doing a Bramble Sniper's Focus Skarner reroll board. I don't think that's a joke. You could. Theoretically. Like, Thorn... Dude, so many units to set, like, scale off armor as damage. Right? Like Poppy does, Skarner does. Interesting. If you can get to 300 is a lot. Let's say it's 200 armor. 200 armor is very doable. 200 armor, you're doing 200 plus 200 times 350, 3.5. So 700 damage on top of the 60 flat. It's a lot. 760 damage as magic damage per 3 seconds. But shields for 3 seconds, so like you don't. I don't think it's Sniper's Focus. I think it's actually just like you just frontline the fucker with like gargoyles, bramble. That sounds like a really fucking fun. And he has Vanguard, by the way. Just completely disregarding the trait Vanguard. I mean, these numbers sound ridiculous to me. I think vertical reroll Vanguard Skarner is like a very real thing. I'm gonna write this down because I don't want to forget this one. And it's probably just like triple Bramble. It's like probably like Bramble. You only throw it when the thing ends, though, right? Like you only throw it when the shield ends. So you need him to like solo frontline, really. Because he needs to cast first, and then the shield needs to end. Yeah. So to me, that sounds like... It almost sounds like this. Gargoyles, Bramble. Dude, if you play 80, this is a nightmare. That sounds really fun. The problem is though, is like there's no sustain for this guy, right? So like you kind of want like a redemption as well as somebody. Yeah. And then maybe somebody in the back. Ooh, he's a what's his trait? He's a boom bot. I guess you could reroll Cog. And what's Cog? He's a rapid fire? It'd probably be TF then. 2 out of 3 Syndicate? I don't think it is. Yeah. I could see it. Redemption on Ross. JK Vane's not on a Rabid. Oh, Vane. I mean, this looks really fun. I mean, it sounds fun. Is it good though? Hard to say. Does not look very good to me. I don't think it's Syndicate as well. It's probably a Nima for bonus stats like Aurora. That's like your main backline. What is she? She's Dynamo. I'm just trying to figure out like how you cap this board out. I mean, I don't really think it might be Annie. Maybe? I don't know. Is there Divinicore Rapid? Oh, Divinicore. I don't think it's a rapid fire unit. Executioner, Bruiser, Divinicore Slayer. Oh, Divinicore Slayer. Maybe. What does she give? Senna gives attack speed. That's pretty good. Yeah, maybe Divinicore. This, I'm not gonna lie though, this does look pretty ass to me. Like, if anything, like, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just play more Boombots. You know what I mean? Play Urgot, Boombot, Chogoofy, Fiddlesticks. Yeah. Like, you don't need more frontline, right? Like, something like this. Like, I don't know, maybe something like this. I'm not sure. It goes to even be like this. Is he 2 hex? He's 4 hex. Yeah. I don't know. This is like a cook as fuck. Oh, Senna's 80? Yes, you're right. Sorry. Senna is 80. You're right. I do like the addition of heavenly units for +1s and +2s. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that totally makes sense. Alright, moving on. TF. Magic Carry. Gain 3 AP per attack. Throw a card at the current target next to its target, dealing bonus magic damage. Gain 3 AP per attack. So, he definitely wants to auto a lot, right? 3 AP per attack. 30 autos is 90 AP. 30 is a lot of autos. You can definitely hit 30 by the end of combat, but like, that's less than what Archangels will be giving you. So like, I feel like Archangels is probably better for TF than like Ginsu's. Alright, Kingpin bonus. Throw a random special card at the current target that deals X amount of damage. Throw all 3 special cards at the 3 nearby enemies. Wait, what? Throw a random special card, but then also throw all 3 special cards at 3 nearby enemies. Throw all 3 special cards to 3 nearby enemies. Oh, does he just throw random special cards as soon as he has the Kingpin bonus? And then he throws all 3 special cards at 3 nearby enemies? If he casts? Red card hits enemies in a 1 hex area. Blue card deals 50% of his damage as true damage. Rarely, yellow card grants gold. Okay. So he gets gold, bonus true damage, or AoE damage. Red is AoE, blue is true, yellow is gold, but yellow is rare. Okay. Vayne. Rapidly fire 3 autos on cast. The first 2 deal bonus true damage, and the final attack deals a fuck ton of bonus true damage. So, okay. I mean, that's her W from Lee. Very simple, straightforward. The PB streamer, what up, G-Horse? Veigar, next one. Deal 300... Oh, sorry. Deal magic damage to the current target, but if you have the Cyber Boss final form, it also does damage to an adjacent enemy. If Veigar is the same star level as the target, deal 20% true damage. If Veigar is a higher star level, then deal 33. Okay, so he does more damage based on star level. But his damage does not scale like previous iterations of Veigar. It seems like he is just all about dealing X amount of damage, but will deal a lot of true damage based on star level. Okay. Okay. 3 costs. 3 costs. We made it. All right, let's just double check. Are there any stuns or CC that I missed? I don't think so, right? Rost was the last one we put in. I definitely put Rost. All right, cool. Next one, Braum, Syndicate Vanguard, Protection Racket. Gain a large shield that scales off AP and HP for 4 seconds. When it breaks, it deals magic damage and then chills them for 3 seconds, so reduces attack speed. So it's AoE soft CC, right? It's 3 closest enemies, so it's not really like... so I'll write Braum is 3 cost, and then it's like... shield breaks. Closest 3 enemies chilled. Okay. And then for his Kingpin bonus, he gains 20 armor and M-Arb, and then every 4 seconds, his next attack also does even more damage. So his Kingpin just makes him a little tankier. A little bonus armor MR. And then the chill reduces attack speed. Okay, yeah. Alright, next one. Cash Jack. Draven 3 cost. Hurl. Dude, look at his fucking... Okay. Bro is like mogging. Hurl 2 massive axes at the most enemies in a line. Dealing X amount of damage before returning. Damage reduced by 20% for each enemy hit. Okay. This is just Draven ult. Cool. Next one, Elise. Fire on all cylinders. Fire 4 lasers at the current target and 4 more split between the nearest 2 enemies. Each dealing magic damage and reducing MR by 6 for the rest of combat. So Elise also has Shred. Fire 4 lasers at the current target and 4 more split between the 2 nearest enemies. So 4 lasers at the current target. 4 more that are split between the 2 nearest. So 4 and then 2, 2. Each dealing magic damage and reducing. So she hits what, like 3 targets total? Let's see. So it's like 3 targets reduce MR. Okay. This is definitely not Elise from League. No, it's not. The firing lasers is interesting. I don't really recognize that one. All right, Fiddlesticks. Whew. Man, dude, this is we've been here for a minute, man. Yeah, this is so much information. Fiddlesticks. For 3 seconds, send it to the closest 3 enemies, dealing magic damage per second split between them. Tether applies 20% shred and heals Fiddlesticks for 50% of magic damage. So Fiddle also has MR shred. Which it looks like tether to the closest 3 enemies. So closest 3 enemies, tether, and shred. So it's like his W from League. Damage per second split between them. Tether applies 20% shred. Alright, got it. Next one, Galio. Stone Wall. Gain a durability for 3 seconds and afterwards heal. Health and... afterwards heal health and send a whirlwind at the enemy within 3 hexes that dealt the most damage to Galio during that time. It deals magic damage and then stuns. So he has a singular... Okay, so Galio positioning actually really matters. So it's actually hard CC, right? Galio 3 cost. So... Sends whirlwind. Enemy carry. Okay. Does it stun units in the path of this whirlwind? I don't think so. Oh wait. Send a whirlwind at the enemy within 3 hexes. Yeah. So I think it only stuns the 1 unit. Otherwise, it would have said send a whirlwind at the enemies, right? It's enemy singular, so it only stuns 1 single unit. So positioning Galio actually matters a lot. 3 hexes is a little weird though. Like you kind of want them on like the corners of the board, right? But then does that even reach? Right, if he's here, 1, 2, 3. Like no, even if he positioned like this, like no one's gonna position their tank in the middle like this, right? Man, it's a lot of like small like positioning tidbits. I'm kind of curious. I can't really think. I mean, Galio seems like you want A1, A7. I should write that down. All right. Gragas. Next one, Corporate Mixer. Heal for health and then throw a cast at the largest group of enemies within 3 hexes. Dealing magic damage to enemies with 1 hex. Okay, so it's just his Q. It's like his W. And he throws a cask. And then deals damage. Simple. You want to save size of carry? Yeah, kind of. Not exactly similar to positioning as Elise, but close. I think you actually want him at the corner of the boards. Usually. Okay, Jarvan. Half Moon Sweep. Strike the most enemies in a semicircle, gaining a shield for 4 seconds, plus more per enemy hit. So you want to position Jarvan in front of the most clumped amount of enemies. Deal physical damage to enemies hit and reduce their armor by. Okay, so there's more Sunder. Okay. Jesus. J4, who is a 3 cost. AoE Sunder. And then he targets largest clump. Right? Deal physical damage to the enemies hit and reduce their armor by X for the rest of combat. Yeah. So it does look like it's targets largest clump, right? He strikes the most enemies. Okay. Alright. Cool. Next one. Jinx. Street Demon Marksman. Fire 5 rockets at random enemies within 2 hexes of the current target. Each rocket deals X amount of physical damage, and each cast fires an additional rocket. So, fire 5 rockets at random enemies within 2 hexes of the current target. Okay, so it's not pure random like choppers, but it's random. It does seem like Jinx you want to also position on the same side as the enemy carry. Each rocket deals physical damage. Each cast fires an additional rocket. Got it. Gensu plus GS for Jinx. I mean, probably, I feel like she's a Ginsu holder. Ginsu or Shojin. Like, she wants to cast, right? It's set 9 Jinx with scales. Set 9? Set 9 was in count. No, what was set 9? Legends? I don't remember this. Set 9 had Jinx? What? Am I tripping out? No, it didn't. Set 9 Jinx? Okay, streamer time to tell me what's OP so I can turn my brain off and not learn anything else. I don't know yet. I'm still learning all the units. I don't know yet. Zon Jinx. Zon Jinx? Chem mods? Zon Jinx? I only remember Zeri. When did this drop in PPE? On Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon. Forecast regarding Zeri. Fire. Forecast. Okay, I give up, dude. What? I actually don't remember this at all. Jinx on people. Okay, whatever. Point is, she scales. Itemization, if I had to guess, is probably Ginsu's. It's probably Ginsu's IE. If I had to guess. Ginsu IE GS. Sounds pretty good to me. I think Guard Breaker would also be pretty good. It's probably Ginsu IE Guard Breaker though, considering that there's so much shield in the set. So I wouldn't be surprised if Guard Breaker is like one of the better items on her. Alright, so Mordekaiser. Antivirus. Gain a shield for 4 seconds. Slam the current target, dealing magic damage in a 2x line, and stun all enemies hit for. Okay, so he also has a stun. It's hard CC. Mordekaiser, 3 cost. Slams current target in 2 hex line and stuns. Alright. Stunning. Marksman only gives attack speed 80 and not attack speed. Yeah. They gain flat amount of 80 and then it increases after 8 seconds. Yeah, it doubles. It doubles after 8 seconds. I thought it doubles, but I didn't want to say it without being too sure. But yes. Cool. Alright, next one. Mordekaiser. Sorry, what the fuck? Rengar. Jesus. Alright. Heal HP on cast and then leap to the lowest health enemy in 2 hexes. Dealing physical damage and strike 2 times, each dealing physical damage. Each cast increases leap range by 1. Cool. How would you position this unit at all? It's probably the same side, but it's like B1, B7, right? Strong Catcom? Yeah, so someone had mentioned, I think Discord had mentioned Rengar Varus sounds really good. But I want to just keep reading before I make an assumption. I don't want to echo box without knowing myself. All right, next one, Senna. Passive. Attacks deal physical damage to enemies adjacent to the target. Fire beam 2 hexes beyond the... Sorry, hold on. Attacks deal physical damage to... You know when, like, sometimes, like, you've been reading for too long, and then you just kind of, like, read words, but then you're not, like, actually, like, it's not, like, sticking into your head? Like, I'm starting to slowly do that. Okay, Senna. Attacks deal physical damage to enemies adjacent to the target. Okay, so whatever she's attacking, it deals damage to adjacent targets. Okay, so she has kind of like innate AoE damage. Fire a beam 2 hexes beyond the current target, dealing physical damage to enemies hit. So it just goes Sara Nibukoe, you know, like fucking Boku no Hero goes beyond the current target. Okay. Anyways. Probably same as Violet from 3 4-star in set 13 corner second row, but behind a strong wall position wise. Yeah, that sounds correct to me. Alright, Varus. Fire a chain that deals X amount of magic damage. Oh, so Varus is AP. Okay. Fires a chain that deals X amount of magic damage and stuns for 1 second. The chain links to the 3 closest enemies, dealing more magic damage to each. So he has a singular stun, right? There's a lot of stuns in the set. What the hell? Singular stun. And the chain links, but then the chain links don't actually deal damage. Don't actually stun. Got it. Alright, next, Yuumi. Magic caster gain 3 mana every second per amp. 3 mana per second every amp. Huh. So 5... hold on. AMP, how high does it go? It goes up to 5, you can get 4. So you can get 12... 12 mana per second per amp. Isn't that a lot? Am I tripping out? 4 amp, 4 strategists? Yuumi? Oh, 5 AMP is kind of hard to hit though. And then where's your front line? Okay. I take it back. This looks turbo shit. Eh? You got Nico? Yeah, but if your tank relies on finding Nico when you're rolling on 7, eh. Okay, I can't lie. It doesn't look that bad. Looks good. It does look good. I don't like that it looks good. But I like this. This feels very flex TFT because you get to slowly pivot out of like AMP or whatever as you find like more things. Never ending scenario though, doomed. Well, to be fair though, you're rolling on 7, you get to 8, and then you're playing this board, right? Like this is kind of what you're playing for a while. And then eventually it's probably like this over this. Yeah. Agreed. It's also very expensive on 8. You need to find Ziggs, Zanny, and Nico. You want Nico too? Kind of feels like get to 8 first and then roll for Yuumi if you have a lot of copies. You know what I mean? But it does sound pretty solid, I cannot lie. I just wonder like if you're, because the thing is if you're rolling, I think it is a level 8 comp actually. It might be like a level 7 3-5, find Yuumi 2, and then on 4-5 you go 8. And then you play around all these other units. But you kind of have to praise you're not like contested for Nico or Ziggs or Annie. Nico being strategist, I feel like she'll be pretty flex. A lot of players might play it. But yeah. Cool board though. Alright, her actual ability. Launch a magic missile at the current target that bounces the nearest enemy. Deal magic damage to the current target and more to the other, marking both of them. If they're already marked, deal 200%. Oh god, okay. Luckily it's not Super Yumi, where she just gets immediate backline access. Her mana pool is 30. Wait. GG blue buff 5 amp. She's printing mana. But I mean, to be fair, the damage looks pretty low, numbers wise. 3-star Yumi only does 240. But that's 240 per like 1 or 2 seconds. It's kind of a lot. And it's not even like, it's probably like blue buff. Is it even Nashers? Do you even need Nashers? 30 plus the, like, I'm pretty sure it's like blue buff plus like Rabadon's JG is probably gonna be like true biz, right? Like, you want flat AP because of it being strategist. She gets damage amp. That looks like this looks like true biz Yumi. Oh fuck. It looks pretty strong. Looks pretty fucking strong. Yeah, so AMP gives them HP, but then it also gives them the actual amp itself, which is like confusing wording, by the way. I really wish they didn't do that, but I mean, I guess I get what they're trying to do. But and then what? Force strategist gives 16%. It's tripled, so it's 48% damage amp. Plus Death Capital just gives another 15. So it's like 60% damage amp. On top of like all this AP. Oh! This sounds dirty, man. Like, I don't want to play that. I'm pretty sure it's a level 8 comp though. Like, I'm pretty sure you hit 2-star Yumi fast. And unless you have like infinite copies of Yumi, like you stay on 8. Like, you get to 8 first, you find the Ziggs, the Annie, and the Nico, you stabilize until like stage 5. And then like you roll for the Yumis after. Gunblade is not bad either. I think Gunblade's worse. And the reason I think that is because you barely have a front line. You're not really gunblading anything. You're just gunblading for the Nico, right? So unless this Nico turns out to be like a Giga Tank, like, to be honest, like the rest of these units look like dog shit. So like, quite honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like solo frontline Nico and like true best Nico like ends up looking something like this. Right? What does her even ability do? More shields and chills. Yeah. So it could be this. It could also be Val. Val sounds really good as well. Because you want to get that shield ASAP. But yeah, that's crazy. It could be that. It could be like Val Redemption Gargoyles. Or Val Warmogs. Ugh, I don't want to think about it. Okay, moving on. Is there Archangel's Yumi? No, I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because I did consider it also. But the reason I don't think it's Archangels is because I think Yumi's she's gonna just start permacasting. And you're probably gonna get more value out of just her just permacasting than just having an Archangels that's gonna like slowly ramp up. So I think it's 100% Rabadon's GG. Plus the fact that like the strategist is flat, it's percentage damage amp, right? So you want like that flat AP stats like as soon as possible to maximize the value out of strategists. So I think it's fine, but I think like in terms of like actually like true bis, like I'm pretty sure this is true bis. It could even be like if there's an augment that gives your abilities crit, it could be like Rabadon's GS. Like that's probably actually like true bis if you have an augment that's like that. But yeah, like probably something like this. Yeah, if you have a augment that lets you crit it. I just want to see Blue Battery Yumi. You're gonna see Blue Battery Yumi. I'm warning you right now. All right. Next one, Annie. We're on the forecasts. We're finally on the forecasts. Forecasts. Throw a fireball at the current target that deals magic damage, and mini fireballs split between the target and 2 nearby enemies. Some shit fell behind me. I will pick it up later. Okay, split between the target and 2 nearby enemies that deal more magic damage to each. Have you guys noticed there's a lot of this like split? You throw the damage out and then it kind of splits into like some like random bullshit. Is there a reason they keep doing that? Anyone know? Anyways, every 4 casts, instead summon Tibbers next to the current target, dealing magic damage to enemies within 1 hex. Okay, cool. So she has a low mana pool, so she's also a blue elf holder for sure. Oh, because they're hacking. Yep, yeah, good one. Agreed. Next one, Aphelios. Attack carry. Fire a moon blast at the largest group of enemies that deal X amount of damage to enemies within 2 hexes. Again, it's the same shit. Like, you just... to be fair, like, he fires at the largest clump of enemies. Okay. Equip 4 chakrams, and then plus 1 more for each enemy hit by the blast. Lasts for 6 attacks, and then deal bonus physical damage each. So... Wait, what? So is he a cast? Is he a Ginsu holder, or is he like an IE Deathblade holder? Rageblade times 3. I mean, is this even like a lot of damage? Like, look at the damage numbers though. 238. It's really low, and he has a really high AD scaling. Like, is he like IE Deathblade Ginsu? That's kind of what it sounds like, right? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't really know how else you'd itemize this guy. It feels really weird that it's like 4 chakram. Right? But it does look like he wants to cast, though. The damage has so much scaling, you know? But I don't know. Maybe double Ginsu is the play. Double Ginsu IE. Or double Ginsu Deathblade. Can't remember what said was a similar print unit. Oh, really? Okay. I don't know. Like, if it was just this, I'd just be like, oh, it's an attack caster. But then, like, you have this, which feels really weird. Oh, but, okay, hold on. Marksman also gives flat AD. Like, a bunch of flat AD. So, it's very possible it's just, it might just be triple Ginsu's. It might be. Or double Ginsu's Gunblade. It's a set 9 reprint, but then the ability lasts for 7 seconds instead of 6. Interesting. Anger issues. Oh yeah, anger issues would be really good on this guy for sure. All right, next one. Brand. Throw a paint bomb at the largest group of enemies within 5 hexes, dealing magic damage to enemies within 1 hex, and then more magic damage to the nearest 4 enemies. Again, this weird like there's a lot of splash. Interesting. Okay. Street Demon Techie. So it also has damage nullification. Cool. Morello stocks going up. True. Morello stocks are in fact going up. Cho'Gath. Fire a disorienting sound blast in a cone, dealing magic damage. This scales off AP and HP. And then gain at a max HP, gain bigger and increase the size of the future sound blasts. Okay. So it scales, but it doesn't scale the whole game. So it just seems like he's a... I mean, he just seems like a generic tank to me. He's a tank that heals a bit. Alright, Leona. Solar Flare. Gain 55... Oh, sorry. Gain durability for 4 seconds. And then deal magic damage to the largest clump of enemies within 2 hexes. Stun the center enemy for 2 seconds. So it does magic damage to the largest clump of enemies, but only stuns the center enemy. Enemies damaged by this ability take bonus magic damage from allies attacks for X amount of seconds. Okay. So she has like 2 parts to her kit, right? So it looks like to me. Sorry, 1 second. So Leona is 4 costs. Man, I can tell my brain is slowing down. It's a lot of information. Whew, but we're almost done. We're almost done. Magic damage to the largest clump of enemies within 2 hexes. So target's largest clump. within 2 hexes stuns the middle. Or stuns the center enemy. There's no good way to, like, abuse it, right? To get the stun. It's kind of hard. Like, you just have to make sure that the Leona is on top of... Like, generically on top of whoever. That's just what it sounds like to me. Sounds like a better Mundo. Oh, really? I guess, yeah. I guess. But she auto targets the largest clump within 2 hexes. So she doesn't have to be, like, that close. Like, it just sounds like to me like they just want to make sure that she hits the front line. And then, like, increases the damage up on it. Or the damage that you do to them. Right? Alright, next one. Miss Fortune Dynamo Syndicate. Fire 8 waves of bullets towards the largest clump of enemies over 2 seconds. Enemies struck take X amount of physical damage from the first bullet of each wave and 25% less from other bullets in the wave. Kingpin bonus, just fire extra waves. So it's just her ultimate. Ultimate does more damage, but less damage as you hit more units. Wait, enemies struck take physical damage from the first bullet of each wave. 25% less from other bullets in the same wave. Oh. I mean, how big is the wave? Right? Like, if it's really thin, then I can understand where this 25% is coming from. But, like, if it's a wide wave, then, like, how often are you really hitting the same unit with the same bullet? Or the same unit with a different bullet in the same wave? Eh? It's like old, yeah, it's like an 80 version of the Anima Squad MF. I'd assume it's the same as well. Which is why, like, this is kind of odd that they would put this in here. I guess if Rengar was jumping as it was getting shot by 1, and it was jumping backwards so it could get hit. I mean, maybe in, like, some small, like, niche case scenarios it could happen, but it's very odd. Alright, next one, Nico. Pop-up mural. Gain a shield for 4 seconds and create an expanding zone that pops 3 times, each dealing magic damage to enemies hit. The third pop chills enemies for 3 seconds. So, oh, gotta crack my knee. The third pop. So shield for 4 seconds and creates an expanding zone that pops 3 times. I wish it told you how big that zone is. Shields for 4 seconds and then creates an expanding zone that pops 3 times. Is the zone... I would assume the zone's underneath her, right? Because, like, that's how her ability works in League. But it doesn't specify the range. So it's an AoE soft CC. This is Nico forecast. She shields for 4 seconds, creates an expanding zone that pops 3 times. Each dealing damage to enemies hit. Third pop chills. So it doesn't really say when, like how long it takes for that third pop to happen, right? Creates an expanding zone, and then it pops 3 times. But it doesn't really say like. It doesn't really say when it pops. Okay. Could be similar to the 4.5 expanding ability. I didn't play 4.5, so I actually don't know what that is. Probably just takes every second. But it's a 4-second shield, right? So wouldn't it... Yeah, I have no idea. Just gotta see it. Yeah, I agree. Because for all you know, it could be like a 1 hex zone or it could be like a 4 hex zone. Great. Alright. Next one, Sejuani, who's a Bastion, and Bastion is Armor MR, I think. Right. I'm like testing myself. Huh? Yes. Okay, good. Bastion, Armor MR. Bastion, Armor MR. Vanguard's is durability. Oh, dude, fuck. Is it durability? Vanguard's is durability? No, it's like a little bit of durability with something else, right? Holy fuck. This is not good. I need to know this. Vanguards is shielding. Sorry. Vanguards is shielding. They get it at 100% HP and 50% HP. And a little bit of durability. Strategist gives durability. Okay. Got it. This is important. This is why we study this shit. So like weird watches. Kind of like weird watches, yeah. Durability, but it's not actually durability. It's like shields plus durability. But when you're shielded, you actually get durability. Which is weird. Okay. Next one. Oh, sorry. Okay, so anyways, go to Sejuani. Sejuani, gain 30% more armor and MR resist from all sources. Okay, so she gets to get a little extra tankier. So she really gets to use the Bastion trait, which is cool. Alright. Set reprint. Throw an EMP at the closest enemy that explodes after 2 seconds. So she targets the closest enemy. It deals magic damage and then within 3 hexes and stuns them for X amount of seconds. Cool. So it's an AoE stun. The first... Not the first. Second AoE stun of the set. Mordekaiser being the first. Targets closest enemy. 3 hex AoE stun. Okay. Big CC, big CC. So you want to position Sejuani similar to the way you position at least the set. Like you want to target like the largest clump, right? All right, next one. Vex, Divinicore, and Executioner. Emo ass looking bro. Gain 15% Omnivamp and 8% of overhealing for Retribution's damage. Her ability is converted to bonus true damage to its primary target. So 8% of her damage is 8% of overhealing from Retribution's damage. It's converted to bonus true damage. So it's pretty negligible, I'd assume. But she likes healing a lot. She's a second row unit. Mid-table, according to Casual. Send a shadow to the target, dealing magic damage to all enemies it passes through. The shadow then explodes, dealing magic damage to the target and enemies within 1 hex. So send a shadow to the target that you're autoing. Send a shadow to the target that deals damage. Oh, so the shadow passes through not only the target, but it goes to everybody. And then the shadow explodes. Eh? Shadow, eh? The shadow then explodes, dealing magic damage to the target. No, it doesn't. No. Shadow Clone Bomb? Yeah. Okay. Agreed. Shadow Clone Bomb. Throw shadow to the enemy that it's targeting, and then... It's just, the way this is worded is so odd. Shadow then explodes, dealing magic damage to the target and to enemies within 1 hex. Like, the way it's worded sounds like it hits the target and then it passes through them, but it sounds like it just hits the target, but if a unit walks in front and it passes through, it'll hit that enemy too. It's... Chronologically, it just sounds weird. But I guess I understand what it's trying to say. Okay. Okay, so like a mini Shadow Bomb. Blue buff holder, so what I mentioned already. Second Hex Vex, blue buff holder, by the way. So this is, have we ever seen a blue buff bowl holder that's second Hex? Saying it hurts anything it passes when it's 2 range is real. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, right? She's AP, right? AP. I'm gonna assume it's similar to Yumi. It's JG Rabadons probably. Most times it's only gonna hit the target. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It's such a weird way to phrase it. I wonder if it's like Vertical Divinicore or Executioner. Second Hex is really odd, right? I feel like... Yeah, it might be Gunblade. Needs more healing. I could see this. Executioner. Oh, she already has JG built into her kit. Cool. So, isn't Graves also 2 hex? Yeah. Isn't Urgot also? Urgot's 4 hex. Okay. Uh-huh. I mean, it's probably only 2 Executioner, to be honest. Right? But then how do you even play into this line? Like, you use Yumi as your item holder, and then you switch over to Vex? She has Omnivamp built in too? Oh, you're right. But she wants to, like, overheal, right? Very odd. I also don't really know how you'd play this on 8. Like, you'd probably play something else alongside this shit. I don't really know, though. Like, maybe... This is the one that, like, doesn't make too much sense to me. Maybe it's Vanguards. Like, Leona. On 8. But who are you dropping? You're probably dropping the Vinocore units, right? Probably dropping Morgana. Probably dropping Sana. Maybe like this. You have +1. Yeah, I don't know. This is like a weird... Hodge JG? I don't think so. I think she definitely needs blue buff. Needs the permacast. Maybe Hodge, though. Because she's Executioner. That looks odd as fuck. You miss the other blue buff uses and you end up with a Gwen reprint? Yeah, Gwen was a frontline blue buff. Oh, but Gwen dashed around, though, right? Like, Vex doesn't even dash. It's just so weird. Like, I don't really know. It's such a weird unit. I mean, I'm curious to see how it plays out, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't know. Surely it's 2x Hodge. Don't you need some level of damage though? The spell crits, but it only does like 100. Sorry, 300. Paul's healing for sure. Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think it's 2x Hodge. Does he get AP from Divinicore? Not a lot. Morgana's the AP one, so no, he doesn't even get... You'd want Morgana in. Like, that looks very not good. Like, you don't have a front line? Your front line's Leona? It might be like a Bruiser. Who's the 4-cost Bruiser? Cho'Gath? Oh, it might be Cho'Gath. And Gragas? Maybe you only just play 2 Executioner. Like, fuck these units. Oh, whoops. Maybe? This looks so odd. It looks so odd. I mean, it's weird. Like, you kind of want Morgana on the board because you want Divinicore. But, like, surely, like, instead of Morgana, you just play 4 Executioner. No? It's like this. Maybe? Varys can maybe hold, Urgot items, maybe? I don't know what he does yet, so... Yeah. Alright, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. We'll come back to Vex. I feel like Vex is a really weird one. I really don't know. It's a really strange unit, being 2 hexes. But we'll see. I understand if it's 2 hexes, it dashes, but it doesn't dash. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It leaves it so vulnerable. You know? Alright, anyways. Moving on. Zaya. Tackcaster. Impale 6 feathers into the current target that deal physical damage. When the target dies, the feathers seek out nearby enemies within 2 hexes, each dealing physical damage. Okay. So it just does damage once the target dies, but you just impaled feathers into the current target. So you just like that's Saya. Okay, simple. Feathers, 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 and more feathers. Yep. That's it. All right, next one, Zed. Attack Reaper. Cutthroat business. Throw a shuriken at the furthest unmarked enemy that deals magic damage and then marks them. So the shuriken does very little damage. Then become untargetable, teleport to them, and summon shadows on every other marked enemy. Deal physical damage to adjacent enemies while the shadow deals physical damage to adjacent enemies. Okay. So again, we talked about this earlier, but I think the way you position Zed is opposite of the enemy carry as far as possible. Right? Yeah. It's just tough though, because I feel like positioning wise, like I already talked about how I don't think the Zed unit is gonna be very good. But then on top of that, it's like this Zed unit, it's so easy to position against because you just flip the hex. Right? If Aphelios is your carry, you wouldn't put him here, you just put him here. And then Nix goes here, and then it jumps back, and then it casts again, and then it'll get on the Aphelios. But after that, it's like 3 casts. It takes a while. And even then, it casts pretty quickly. It's 50 mana. So it needs to kill the unit within that 50 mana before teleporting again. Fucking Paladin's call Zed? Ugh, I don't know. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Dude, I realized I need to study the Ornn items because I only generically know what they actually do. I actually have not like sat down and actually just like learned what they do, which is pretty bad. Is just him jump everywhere? I mean, that's what he's gonna do. I mean, I think he's a good secondary carry, like on top of somebody else to just like weaken an enemy carry a little bit, and then somebody else can clean it. But if they have Omni-Vamp, it's kind of fucked. So I don't know. Alright, next one, Zeri. Exotech Rapid Fire. Dash to a nearby location so quickly an untargetable echo lingers. Echo attacks as if it were Zeri, but deals 50, well, less damage. Echoes last about X amount of seconds and disappear when Zeri dies. Okay. So Shadow Clone Jutsu is kind of what Zeri does. Yeah, that's it. It seems like she wants like flat AD though. I'm pretty sure. Because I think her because it's worded as if it was Zeri, I'm pretty sure it's like the stats that you get out of Zeri will just transfer over. Because it says it's the AD and the attack speed that gets transferred over, right? One Gensus is fine? Probably one Gensus is fine, I think. It's also rapid fire anyways. Like one Ginsu, like double Death Blade, probably chill. Maybe you do want like multiple Ginsus though. Like double Ginsu Death Blade. And then like as you pump out more shadows, all of those clones, they like slowly increase in attack speed. Because the Ginsus is stacking. I'm not entirely sure that it works though. Like I'd have to test it. What's the Exotech for online anyways? It's like Mordekaiser Sejuani, I believe. Alright, next one, Ziggs. Last forecast, Cyber Boss Strategist. Throw a bomb that hits the most enemies in a plus shape. Okay, in a plus shape. Final form is the whole row and column. Oh, jeez, okay. Dealing X amount of magic damage. But then in a final form, to enemies within 1 hex of the center. Magic damage to enemies further away. Okay, got it. Blech. So it's just a plus bomb. Cool. Throw a bomb that hits the most enemies in a plus shape. Would you ever like position like if you have 4 backline units, you just position one of them in like the 3rd row? Or you position 3 of them in the 3rd row if you're fighting against the Ziggs carry? Right? That gets 5 big booms. True. But yeah, I think there might be a little bit of positioning tech if you're fighting against a 6 carry player. And then you put like, you're carrying the 4th row and then the rest of your units in like the 3rd row. I could see it. Okay. Finally the 5 costs. Oh. Can we just take a second? Can you just take a second to breathe? I am like exhausted. We're like going through all of these. I'm gonna run a 2-minute ad. I've been going through for so long. All right, we'll run the 2-minute ad and then we'll start talking. I need some water, bro. Jesus. Woo. All right. Just talking about it. This is so much information, by the way. But also, have you guys noticed there's no burn or wound? This is what we have so far. None of these units have burn or wound. Like, I feel like you kind of need to build Sunfire or Morello or you're kind of fucked. There's no shield break, no mana reave either. Will there be a test at the end of this? Maybe not today. But we could do like a testing set 14 unit stream tomorrow. Like Jeopardy-esque. And we can put like riot points on the line or something. That sounds kind of fun. Monka. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Actually, I actually do like that. Because I need to study for this. Set 14. Pop quiz. For... Well, we can't even do pop quizzes because then like people can just cheat because they can just look it up. I'll put a question mark next to it. Maybe. Alright, anyways. Let's go 5 costs of this set. There's 18 seconds left on the set. Or 18 seconds left in ads. We should wait a little bit. We should wait for them. Be good people. Also, dude, there's in my head, I hear somebody saying, let's go. But I have no idea where it's from. And it pisses me off. It's in that exact cadence. Let's go. But I have no idea where it's from. If anyone knows, please let me know. I know that's not a big hint. I feel like it's someone who's nerdy who's saying it. That's all I got, though. Anyways. No, it's not like, let's go. Like, not like the cutie one. It's like, let's go. That's all I got. I don't know how to tell it. I don't know. That's all I hear in my head. Anyways. Aurora. T1? No. It's like some nerdy dude. It has nothing to do with League or the TFC scene, I'm pretty sure. It says it is... No, that's not my normal voice. Like, listen to the cadence. Let's go. No one says it like that. It's like, let's go. Right? Anyways. Alright. Aurora, 5 cost. On first cast, swap places with the leftmost champion on your bench and continue fighting. The champion gains attack speed. If the swap champion dies, return to the board. Okay, so you want like a tanky unit to hop in. You look like you'd say it like that? Well, I don't. Alright, I do not. Anyways. Teleport to hit the most enemies in a line, dealing a lot of AP to each one, plus AP split between all enemies hit. Damn. Aurora cannot swap places with another Aurora. That makes a lot of sense. So she can only swap onto the bench once, it seems. What up, Wigwug? I am glad to be back. Alright. That's pretty straightforward, I think. I think a lot of people have already seen how Aurora works as well, so it's pretty straightforward. Next one, God of the Net, or specifically Garen. Gain a shield for 2 seconds and then deal physical damage to the current target and send a wave that deals more damage to enemies hit. If the wave hits 2 or fewer enemies, gain 50 mana. So he wants to kind of hit singular units, like, I guess. Do you know Garen Tree can buff itself? Oh, I actually don't. I don't think that thought had ever crossed my mind, actually. We should probably figure that out. I'm gonna write that down. Things to test God of Net on Garen? Question mark. Okay. There was other things we have to test too, right? Radius of Nico ult. What else was there? Jin. Does Jin ability bounce to closest targets? Cool. I saw it on Froden's stream. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. I can already see Late Duck creating a Mythbusters video about this. Is those traits by default so you can add it to him, whatever? Yeah, but you can only add one mod. So I guess, wow, huh? So I guess he is a pseudo tank if he can mod himself. Huh, that never crossed my mind. Usually you think about like putting the mods on other units, but I could totally see putting the mods on Garen. Because Garen could be a pseudo tank, right? His ability gives him a big shield. He also does a lot of damage, but if you give him like the Bastion, I guess it depends on his stats, right? 60 armor MR, compare that to like a 4 cost like Vanguard. Or I guess you should compare to the Bastions, right? 60-60. I mean, that looks fine to me. Yeah, I can see it. Bastion mod Garen? Not bad. I mean, you don't get to choose which mod it is, though. Like, a little thing comes up, and you can only pick from 3 of them. So you kind of gotta choose. So if you don't hit the tank one, it's kind of fucked. Because then you won't get the next God of the Net for, like, another, like, 3 rounds. Basically, you have to go, like, a whole stage. You're already compromising half a stage to potentially get that Bastion mod for specifically Garen. And then if you don't hit it, then you have to wait another 3 rounds to potentially try to hit it. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Meh. Hold on. God of the Net, by the way. Is it only activated traits? Open an army of trait mods that permanently reprogram a champion to benefit from a trait. It doesn't say. I'd assume it's just like your activated traits. Let's write this down. Does God of Net only work on activated traits? Question mark. Level 8 points is gonna need so many flex spots for Garen Zac. Also Renekton pretty flexible. Yeah. It's not just activate budgets on your board. Oh, okay. You have like 1 Bastion, you can get it. Yeah, but if you have 1 Bastion though, you can't, like the mod doesn't count towards the trait, right? So like you'd still need to find a second Bastion to activate the trait and then like benefit out of it. Cool. Alright, next one. Kobuko, the most broken unit of the set. Passive. Attacks deal X amount of bonus magic damage. And then at X amount of HP, you gain a massive shield, taking over 8 seconds, and then 100% attack speed, 20% omnivamp, and 100 mana. Alright, let me just say this real quick. This passive on Kobuko sounds so weird because it makes it sound like Kobuko is supposed to be like a fighter. But like, is he actually a fighter? Like, I don't know. I don't think so, right? Unending Despair Kobuko? That does sound kind of crazy. My friend, you were cooking. Can you imagine Exotech? God of the Net, Exotech Kobuko, and then he gets that shadow item. Which one was it? The one for the shields? Corruptive Chassis? Ugh. Disgusting. Alright. Let's talk about the active. He briefly gains durability. It's a lot. Then pick up a nearby enemy, knocking up all enemies within 1 hex. Final form is 2 hexes for 1.5 seconds. Then slam down, dealing magic damage to the target, and a percentage of the target's max HP as magic damage to all enemies hit. Broken unit. But this doesn't mean he has AoE hard CC, so let's write that down. Kobuko, 5 cost. So, who does he target though? It says nearby enemy. Just pick up a nearby enemy. It's not necessarily closest. I don't know what nearby means. Because they use the word targets closest enemy in a lot of the descriptions. So I don't know how it decides which nearby enemy. And then the AoE stuns. It's a 1 hex AoE stun. And then 2 hex AoE stun if final form. Right? Dealing 200 damage. Yeah. Okay. Alright. It's just, this part's crazy though. Because like if it picks up a unit with like a bunch of HP and slams down, if that unit has like 4k HP, you're doing like 440 damage on a Kabuko 1 in like a 2 hex AoE radius. That's a fuck ton of damage. You know? It's a fuck ton. Alright, next one. Renekton. Deal physical damage to enemies within 2 hexes and burn and wound them for 5 seconds. So, finally. The first burn and wound of the fucking whole set. Renekton, who's a 5 cost, by the way. It's AoE, right? Physical damage to enemies within 2 hexes. Yeah. So AoE. 2 hex AoE. Burn wound for 5 seconds. And then he also gains max HP. First cast enter frenzy mode where he attacks strikes twice, dealing physical total damage and can dash new targets. Second cast frenzy mode now strikes thrice. Yeah, I do remember this. So he kind of just like autos. He kind of throws like that 1-2, and then the 1-2 and the uppercut on the third. It's kind of like what Renekton does. All right, straightforward. Next one. Samira. Let's see. Demon Trigger. Dash towards the target and fire a volley of 30 bullets over 2 seconds. Why did I say ability amp instead of amp? It's weird. Split between enemies within 3 hexes. Each bullet shreds 4 armor and deals physical damage. Reduced by 20% per hex. This is from Samira. When the volley ends, dash back to safety while dealing physical damage to the current target. For the duration of her ability, she is unstoppable and has Omnivamp. Unstoppable means she can't be CC'd, right? So she actually has CC immunity, which is pretty interesting. That goes into AoE Sunder, right? Oh, sorry, yeah, Sunder. So this is Samira, 5 cost, AoE Sunder, and then who does she target? Dash towards the target and fire a volley. Split between enemies within 3 hexes. It's a 3 hex AoE Sunder. So 3 hex AoE Sunder around current target. Unstoppable during cast. I feel like we haven't seen Unstoppable in a long time. It's pretty interesting. I know Samira felt really lackluster in the PvE though, or not PvE, during the playtest for a lot of people, so I'm curious to see if she's actually like any good. We'll see though. Urgot. For 5 seconds, gain attack speed and lock on. Jesus fucking Christ. Lock on to the lowest percent enemy within 5 hexes. Attacks also fire 3 rockets, each dealing physical total damage. What up, Becca? Each cast, the first time a locked on enemy falls beneath X amount of HP, reel them in, execute, and grind them into parts. So Urgot actually can farm components, which is pretty sick. Confused on how it works with Executioner? Does his execute crit? So the way that it works, so Executioner gives him bonus crit and crit damage, right? So his damage will do bonus. He will do bonus damage once they fall below 30%. Then his crit bonus damage will double, right? But then from 30% down to 15%, once it hits 15%, then Urgot just completely reels them in and they die. So like Urgot will be, he just completely kills them. Executioner doesn't actually execute the units. They just do more bonus damage, bonus crit damage, once they drop below a certain threshold of HP. Guess we move back to NA? No shot, did you actually? Holy shit. Welcome to the States. This is a terrible time to be here. Not to get political, but things are not the best. Anyways, Viego. Second to last one, Viego. Passive. When units die, absorb their soul and heal for HP. So no matter what unit dies, it gets to heal. So he has a bit of innate... I don't call it Omni-Vamp because it's innate healing. It's not a lot though. Jump to the largest clump of enemies within 2 hexes on active, dealing magic damage to adjacent enemies. And more magic damage to other enemies within 2 hexes. So he has a 2-hex AoE ability. So similar to Viego from set 8 monsters attack, 20% shred all enemies hit for 4 seconds. Interesting. So 20% shred all enemies for 4 seconds. So he has a shred. Very good. More shred. So Viego, 5 cost, 2 hex AoE shred. Targets largest clump. Got it. All right, simple. And the last one, Zach. At 10% HP, splits into 2 copies with 50% HP, but his active bounce 3 times on nearby enemies. Each bounce deals a certain amount of damage, to scales off AP and HP, and then stuns for 1 second, healing Zach for X amount of HP. So cool. He has an AoE stun as well, and I think that's the last one. Zach, 5 cost, AoE stun. Targets. So bounce 3 times, targets nearby enemies. Does he only stun 3 enemies? Right? He doesn't actually stun like multiple enemies per bounce. It just bounce on 1 enemy. 1-1-1, right? Jack trenchcoat equals G. Yeah, that does sound fucking disgusting actually now that you mention it. But they can probably bounce onto the same target. It's probably not as good as it sounds. Isn't Zach Trench shit because he'll be splitting? Yeah, I kind of agree as well. I feel like there's a lot of power in the 5 cost set. Like, you need to cap out fully with the 5 cost or you're just behind. There definitely is a lot of power in the 5 cost set for sure. Especially the tanks. Like, your front line is going to be very dependent on, like, capping out with 5 costs. It's that or, like, the reroll 3-star versions need to be, like, really powerful. Right? Okay, then. Alright, this is the final list. Holy fuck. Alright, so none of the traits, by the way, burn or wound, right? None of the traits also stun. None of the traits... Techie does 10% damage nullification, but nothing else, right? None of the traits actually do... None of the other traits actually do, like, some sort of, like, sunder or whatever. It's possible Anima Squad might have something in the weapons. I'm not sure, though. But everything else... none of the Exotech items have... Oh, sorry. Exotech has Sunder. I didn't write down the traits until, like, too late. Flux Capacitor. Attack Soar. So it's like single target shred. And then... yeah. So you only get from Flux Capacitor. I don't think any of these other ones. Soul Demon, we already went over it though. Yeah. I don't think anything else gives some sort of utility. I realized that the first project I'm missing. Oh, dude, Sag. I wish you were here. Alright, let's talk about this though. This is the final list. Burn and Wound only exists on Renekton across the whole set, across all traits, across all items. It's just Renekton. That is absurd. Oh, okay. That means, okay, Morello red buff, high priority. Like, you really need it this set. Morello red buff Sunfire, you absolutely need it, like, early. Make sure you secure it, because if you don't, it's going to be really hard to find later, unless you find a Renekton, like, later down the line, and you have to play it. Even that's not a lot. Alright, singular hard CC, Alistar, Zyra, Rost, Galio, Varus, and Leona. AoE hard CC is Mordekaiser, who hits in like a 2-hex line. Sejuani, who's the big one, who has the big one. And then Kwogo also has the huge one in the circle. Zac also bounces 3 times, targets nearby enemies, but those are actually like 3 singular instances of AoE. Right. I should write that down. 3 singular instances of AoE. And then next one, singular soft CC. So Techie has 10% damage nullification. And this is actually not even singular. This is AoE, actually. So this is actually incorrect. So this should say none. There you go. AoE soft CC. So Braum has a 3 closest enemy gets chilled. Nico, when expanding, her 3rd pop on her zone chills as well for 3 seconds. And then Techie has 10% damage nullification by spell. Shred-wise, it's Alawi, Elise, Fiddlesticks, and Viego. Alawi is a 1-hex AoE shred. Elise is 3 targets, reduce MR for the rest of combat. Fiddlesticks closes 3 enemies, he tethers and shreds. And then Viego, I should also write down for Elise, it reduces a flat amount of MR. And Viego is a 2-hex AoE shred, targets largest clump. Darius is 1-hex AoE Sunder for 6 seconds. 2-hex if he has the Kingpin bonus. Jin has 20% Sunder to 3 units because he bounces to the first target, bounces to another, and then bounces back to the original. J4, AoE Sunder, targets the largest clump, but he doesn't jump, he just sweeps. Samira, 3-hex AoE Sunder around her current target, unstoppable during her cast. And Exotech, if you get the Flux Capacitor, you can get a little bit of single target shred as well. There is no shield break in the whole set. And no Mana Reave in the whole set across traits, champions, and units. Exotech combinations. Oh my god, we got through a lot today. Exotech combinations. Corrupted Chassis. 200 HP for your units, and you get stronger shields to gain more shields over time. So Jax could be a good carry. Mordekaiser is really good for this. Or Jax could also be a carry, rather, I should say, based off his ability. Cyber Coil is 40 armor MR. Mark the enemies, doing more damage, right? And then heal for damage dealt. So it's technically like soft CC. I guess I could write that down, actually. Exotech Cyber Coil is soft CC. What's it called again? Cyber Coil. Marked enemies are vulnerable. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Heal damage dealt to oh, actually no, it doesn't actually do anything. Okay. I mean it heals, but it's not soft CC. Cool. Are you not gonna check the augments for utility? I don't know if I want to do augments today, dude. I might do augments tomorrow. We've gone through a lot today. We went through all the trades and all the units. It's actually like a lot of fucking information. And I gotta post it on the YouTube. I gotta edit this shit down a little bit. Alright, next one. Hollow Bow. Flux Capacitor. Flux Capacitor has the Sunder. Basically, you could do a little bit of extra damage every 4 autos, so great for Ginsu holders. Hollow Bow, 50% attack speed, 20 AP, 15 mana, gain 40% crit for 5 after 5 seconds, gain attack speed, 2 mana. So this seems like it's good on Zeri. Not really sure, but it does seem worse than other Exotech items just based off this description. Hyper Fangs, you basically get 25% bonus damage every 4 seconds. Easiest way to think about it. Although I can see how that wording can sound a little weird. You do 25% bonus damage every 4 seconds on whatever you're doing. Varus is AP. Yes, he is. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because Pulse Stabilizer. Wait, so which Exotech item is actually good on Varus then? Hollow Bow? Oh, Varys is S+. Sorry. I'm just gonna whatever. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, let's get rid of that. Good catch, good catch. Mordekaiser, really great for Repulsor Lantern. Gain 5% HP, deal 8% max HP as AoE. So this seems really good on Mordekaiser carry, potentially. Sejuani, maybe Jax carry as well. Very nice both because of Executioner. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. Pulse Stabilizer. Looks good on Zeri and potentially Nefiri, although I'm not really sure about Nefiri. Cool. Alright. Good. We got through basically all of it.